All right. I'm live here. Running a little late. Actually, no, it's 1:15 exactly. Okay, good. I was supposed to go live at 1 o'clock, but of course I wasn't able to because I was trying to put a chicken on, of course, and I have to cook my dinner. So, yeah, I have to cook my dinner and all that other stuff. So that's why I was running late. So why is it isn't working properly? Okay, here we go. Man, it's been a long week for me. It's been a long week for me, so it's been a long goddamn week. And on top of that, I was at my girlfriend's house until Wednesday. I was supposed to be there until Tuesday, but there were flooding issues in Orange County. We tried it again, Ocean County, and I couldn't get home. So I had to stay another day, which I don't mind because I like being around her. Obviously, she's my girlfriend, but still, I mean, you know what I'm saying. And I didn't know what the hell I was going to do for the show today. It was Wednesday by the time I got back. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? It's 2 days away, my show, and I have no clue what I'm going to talk about. So I have one thing, on the thumbnail, and I'm just going to wing it the rest of the show because I don't have a clue. What's up? Screw Google. How you doing, man? Uh, so I'm just going to wing it. So I have some stuff on my Twitter bookmarks we're going to look through. Is some shit I want to definitely someone to talk about. There's also some Kyle Kulinski shit, which of course I love, which I love going after that guy and that wannabe Eminem. And I so I'm gonna wing it. We'll see what happens. India, I'm giving you. It's all right. Screw Google says you had to stay at your girl's place because it was wet. Oh, well, I mean, I didn't say it, but seriously though, yeah, there was flooding in Ocean County, and I couldn't get back home. So you could say, I guess, because it was wet, but you know what I'm saying. So let's see. Let me go to my Twitter. I got to figure out what I'm going to start off with first because I don't have a clue. I want to thank everyone for joining me in this long. Let me make sure everybody knows I'm live. Yeah, I didn't even bother doing that either because I'm too busy again trying to, get my chicken in the oven, and I completely forgot to promote the stream. And I just realized I spelled special wrong. Indie just let me know in the DM, like, I spelled special wrong on the thumbnail. Oh well, I mean, you guys get it. You guys understand it. I'm not perfect. I'm not a producer. I'm by myself doing this stuff. So, yeah, I fucked up. So I'm sure people noticing now since I decided, since I said it, but whatever. I misspelled special. Brilliant. Okay, let me share my screen. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about that. I definitely don't want to talk about the Yankees. They piss me off. And if I do, it'll be an hour. I'll go on an hour rant on the Yankees. So for some reason, I saw it on my Twitter. I was like, no, I'm not talking about the Yankees. I refuse to do that right now because this is a political show. This isn't a sports show. Because if I were, forget it, I'll spend the next hour talking about how the Yankees suck. And they're probably the worst team in the American League. But, it's okay, Angel. We all make mistakes, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't have a producer. I don't have anybody to do this. I'm literally by myself. So misspellings are gonna happen, or mistakes like or mistakes like like technical errors are gonna happen. Shit happens. We're live. We're doing it live. Okay, so Rick sold. My Astros are doing all right despite the injury bug. Well, the Astros are actually a competently run baseball organization. They're not terrible. I produce for you, but I'm on a phone. I appreciate that. Screw Google, but but I didn't tell anybody else. Well, I mean, I just read it out loud while looking through my DMs, so that's why I was like, "Oh, I misspelled special." I didn't mean to say that, but I just read it out loud, and there you go. So everybody knows I misspelled special. The Astros are a competently run baseball team. Meanwhile, the Yankees are delusional, and the ownership and the front office are all delusional, thinking they're a championship team when they're a last place baseball team. So I don't want to get started on that, or else I literally will go an hour just ranting about how terrible the Yankees are this season, and how terribly the roster's built, how terribly forget it, because I'll keep going. So that's not it. What am I looking for here? What's funny is, hey, we have good scouting. Yeah, the Astros are a competently run baseball team. Yes, I have to point this out that they did cheat in 2017 to win a championship. But to be fair, the championship last year was fair and square, so I give them credit. I give the Astros credit for last year's championship. Yankees should have been in the World Series in 2017 and won, beat the Dodgers. But okay, let's forget about that. Last year's championship was fair and square. So give them all the credit in the world. What's fun? I'm going to open with this because I think it goes towards censorship, and it goes towards what I've been talking about on this stream lately. And I had no idea this had happened until I was in my girlfriend's house until Wednesday, and she was telling me about how this country singer song was banned off CMT, which is country music television, which I had no idea until I was at her house. Like, I've seen the channel CMT, but I have no clue what it is on my cable package. I don't even have it anyway, so I really didn't care. It's like, oh, CMT stands for country music television. Okay, that makes sense. So anyways, I'm going to start. I'm not going to spend much time on this, but I just wanted to point this out. And it's way too small, so you can't see shit. I can't even see it. Yeah, Bad Cookies. I'm on early because Tara Reid, I believe, goes live at 4:30, and Amy Indy can confirm that. He's still in the chat, but Tara Reid goes live at 4:30, and I have a loud mouth, and I like to go long, so which is why I supposed to start at 1, but again, because of the goddamn chicken I was making and putting on and doing the dishes and everything else I had to do, I had to go on 1:15. So, I'm pretty sure Tara goes live at 4:30. I could be wrong on that. Indy can confirm that or deny it in the chat, but thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Whoops, did I fuck up? I did fuck. I might be biased since I used to love Kyle and feel betrayed by that piece of shit. It's 4:30, right, Indy, or is it 4? Because I don't want to go long either for obvious reasons, but I don't want to step on her toes, but thank you, Bad Cookies. Appreciate the like, appreciate it. Oh, make sure you like and subscribe and share the stream, all that good stuff. Oh, wow, you just woke up? And again, I didn't bother sharing the fact that I was live. I mean, good God, what's wrong with me today? I'm all over the goddamn place. I'm live now on my YouTube. Damn it. Hey, so, yeah, this character, Jason Aldean, got his song banned from the country music television because apparently it promotes violence. And guess what? I decided to listen to this song. I'm not a big country music fan. But, my girlfriend let me know this, and I was like, This is like a First Amendment thing. This is like a censorship thing. I have to talk about this, even though I have no clue who this Jason Aldean character is. And then here's you can super chat or donate on Rofkin and Rumble too. Subscribe to INN channel here or on Patreon. Yep, please do. You can do super chats. I'll read the super chats for sure. If there's any super chat or super stickers or whatever that's called, or that good stuff on YouTube. So I don't have a clue who Jason Aldean is. I mean, maybe some of you do if you listen to country. I listened to the song itself, and it's like your standard, conservative type stuff. I'm not gonna sing the song. I'm gonna read some of the lyrics though. Yeah. Or if you want me to sing it, I'll sing it. But if somebody donates money, maybe I'll sing it. But or I'll try to sing it. But oops. Oh, here we go. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. This stupid. God damn it. Okay, here we go. No. Ah, shoot. I fucked up again. Here we go. Nope, never heard of him until this fiasco. Yeah, neither have I, Laurie. Thanks for the comment. Neither have I. I have no clue who the fuck this guy is. But this song now made him a little famous, and thanks to the censorship. What the fuck is going on here? I can't see this. Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk. Now I'm gonna read it. Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjack an old lady at the red light, pull a gun on the owner of the liquor store. Y'all think it's cool? Well, act the fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, you try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross the line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. So that's the chorus. Try that, this part here. I know, but listen to the song, so. And it's got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town, blah, blah, blah. It's the same chorus. Okay. So yeah, it's just a song. It's literally just. Oops. Let me just do that. Okay. Get rid of that. It's literally just a song, and then I don't understand the whole censorship thing on that song. It's like yeah, it's just a goddamn song. I listened to the song, and I'm like, really? I mean, this is what we're discussing here. Try that in a small town, see how that turns out for you. And he claims there's nothing small town or American about promoting violence. Country singer Jason Aldean's song "Try That in a Small Town" was pulled from CMT following accusation that it's pro-lynching and promoted gun violence. Say what? Pro-lynching? I listened to that goddamn song 4 or 5 times. It doesn't say anything about lynching. It says try that in a small town, see how it turns out for you. Does it threaten? It implies violence. Yes, like if you come riding here, if you rob a liquor store, or if you hurt a grandmother or whatever, yes, we will come and get you. It implies violence. It doesn't imply lynching at all. Not even close. This is absolutely ridiculous. Laurie said, and I agree with this. If you don't like him, don't listen to the fucker. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Why would you? If you don't, why censor a song off of what's? Hold on. I swear. What was it? Hold on. Is this chick? Yeah. Just Shannon Watts' character. She's the one who got it censored off CMT. Founder of Mom's Demand Action. Oh, they follow me on Twitter. What the hell? Look at this. Look at this. It's like Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. They follow me on Twitter. I'm not sure you see that, but I was like, what the fuck? I had no idea people follow me on Twitter. Look at this. See it right there. They follow me on Twitter. And I've been pretty pro gun lately, so I'm not sure they noticed that, but that's hilarious. And they follow me on Twitter. No, that's a promoted tweet. Where's the original tweet? The governor of Florida, blah blah blah. There's an original tweet that she sent out saying, "Yes, I banned this. I got this song banned, and I'm proud of it." Something like that. Where is it? Jace canceling Aldine. That's. I'll explain it later. Cashing in via grifter complex. Fuck you. It doesn't matter. She's the one that got the song canceled, and apparently her organization follows me on Twitter, which I had no idea. and and it's ridiculous. Like, if that song wasn't banned from CNT, it wasn't a big controversy, I wouldn't have heard of it. I wouldn't have a clue the song existed. Like, why in the world would you do that? Why in the world would you make it worse? But that's why censorship never works. Because once you try to censor something, it'll pop up on another part of the internet. Not everybody, not everybody, not every organization, company, whatever censors. I mean, somebody's gonna have it up on their website. Like, I heard the song on YouTube. I went to YouTube, looked it up, and I heard it there, and I was like, so what? It's not even that. Jason Aldean is an okay singer, but but it's not like I'm really like, oh my god, I have, this is a great song, or no, it's okay, it was like, I personally really don't care. So that's all I got to say about that. I mean, that was just ridiculous and a waste of time. Good God. I'm with you, Angel. Bad Cookie says, I'm with you, Angel. I don't listen to crappy ass country music at all. If not for the drama over, I never would have heard of it. Yeah, same with me. I never would have heard of it either if it wasn't for the crappy, for the country music song and shit like that. So, let's see. Now, this is all over. You know what? I'll read this tweet because this is Jason Aldean's tweet. In the past 24 hours, I've been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, a song that has been out since May, and was subject to the comparison that I, direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. There's not a single lyric in that song that references to race or points to it, and there's not a single video clip that isn't real news footage. And while I can try to respect others that have their own interpretation of a song with music, this one goes too far. As so many pointed out, I was present at Route 91. So many lost their lives. Blah blah blah. Blah. Tried on small town refers to me. For me, the feeling of community that I had growing up, where we took care of our neighbors, regardless of differences, background, or beliefs, because they were our neighbors, and that was above any differences. My political views had never been something I hidden from. I know a lot of us in this country don't agree, or blah 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 blah. That's basically what he's saying. It wasn't racial or anything like that. He was trying just to talk about a small town and how they are. Rick Solis said, this is interesting. I didn't know this, but let me see. The video was shot at the courthouse where a black man was lynched, so probably why they took the video down. Who knows if they knew that about that courthouse. Okay, so I've seen the video. They're in front of a courthouse singing for the most part. I didn't know either that apparently a black man was lynched at that courthouse, so that may be the pro-lynching part, but that's interesting. I didn't know that. But still, maybe the producers of the music video didn't know that either, so which is why didn't know that. Excuse me. Anyway, I found this very interesting. I'm moving on from that because I don't care. This is Anthony Weiner. I forgot this man existed, but I came across this on Twitter yesterday, and I figured why not bookmark it and talk about it. Hillary Clinton's best friend, Anthony Weiner, has unhinged meltdown after being asked about Clinton body count. Reminder, this guy went to jail for sexting a 15-year-old. I forgot Anthony Weiner existed. After he was like a big liberal star within the Democratic Party just like 10 years ago, and like, oh my God, Anthony Weiner, he might run for president, and this is all going to be great, and we're all excited about this, and oh shit, it turns out he likes sexting teenagers. Yeah, just go to jail, fuck off. So let's watch this clip from the beginning.
Years old and say this person died.
Let me not do that. So they're referring to the Clinton body count here, and as you know, there's the Clinton body count is people that around the Clintons that have died, mysterious deaths over the last 40 years, and there's a list like this long. I've seen like, okay, 1 or 2 deaths, it happens. What, 40, 50, 60 deaths over 40 years? That's weird. There's something definitely like going on here. And I'm like, yeah, there's definitely something weird going on there. How many people have died around the Clintons? I mean, so let's play this clip. It's on 5 minutes long. Anthony Weiner has a meltdown here, which is pretty funny. So let's watch.
In the military and dragging their name.
I have a reputation to ask tough questions and piss some people like you off. That's my reputation.
Including dead people who I'm going to stand up for.
Oh, trust me, we are standing up for them more than you are standing up for them.
Let's see. You better get back to that list because we're going to clear some people's names today.
My question for you is, how is it that in the last 50 years, we don't have a single candidate? Everybody has their own. John F. K. was a playboy with Marilyn Monroe. Trump, Karen McDougal, Stormy Daniels. George Bush linked to 9/11 and weapons of mass destruction. Bill Clinton linked to Arkansas women, all this others. Everybody has a reputation. How is it that the reputation that follows them as people close to them die?
Oops.
Why?
Yes, that is Anthony Weiner. He apparently got out of prison, so I didn't even know that. If the host didn't act like a dickhead, he would have had Weiner dead to rights. Yeah, I watched this clip yesterday. He was kind of a dick to Anthony Weiner, but at the same time, I think Anthony Weiner deserves it. He deserves it because he likes sexing teenagers, but still, I mean, ultimately, people are right about that. He was a dick. He was way too much of a dick for me to, take him seriously. But let me keep going with this. Is Anthony Weiner, by the way, so I want to make that clear. I mean, he got out of prison. I had no idea that he did, but he did. So this is like he's back in the public eye after getting out of prison.
Is that a story that many people believe in? Why is that?
Are the Clintons in their 70s yet? You don't think I can make a list of other people who are 70-something years old and say this person died, that person died, this person died? Hold on.
How come they haven't done that with Bush? He's in the same age.
I have no freaking idea why they haven't.
How come they haven't done that with Trump?
So are you saying, so you agree with what I'm saying?
How come they haven't done that with Reagan?
So
how come they haven't done that with Kerry?
What point are you making about these men and women?
That's the thing. There's no body counts with other presidents. With Reagan or with neither the Bushes, Kennedys. There's no body count. The only body count with the Clintons, which is kind of weird. Which is, if 1 or 2 deaths happen, I get it. It's like, shit happens. People die. It sucks, but it happens. But what, 50, 60, 70 people have died around the Clintons in the last 40 years? This is something that's weird. It's like not coincidental. All those people die. And I went through the list like a few months ago, and there was this one guy who was in the Defense Department, I believe, who was supposed to testify against Hillary Clinton on something, and he just turns up dead the day before he's supposed to testify, which is again, at this point, that's not coincidental. And this is just my opinion. I think why am I forgetting his name? Seth Rich. Seth Rich is also part of that body count, because I'm gonna turn off this fan. I can't take it no more. But yeah, I think Seth Rich is part of that body count. Coincidentally, right before the DNC emails were released, all of a sudden he's walking down the street in Washington. He turns up dead. Shot twice in the back, and it was called a robbery, and even nothing was stolen. Yeah, all presidents are war criminals. That's true, 100% true. But at the same time, I mean, there's not a group, there's not a president or presidential candidate that has that many deaths, surrounding them. Nixon has a body count. He was about to kill another person, a reporter, if not for his impeachment. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Nixon had a body count. I'm sorry, I gotta turn on this fan again. Shit, it's so it's hot. Yeah, all presidents counts are in the millions. Yeah, I get what you're saying, that presidents kill people abroad. Like, U.S. presidents definitely have body counts in the millions, but this is specifically referring to like people around them. U.S. citizens and people who surround the Clintons mysteriously turn up dead, and there's been multiple ones in the last 40 years. So that's what they're discussing. But I do agree with people who say that presidents have millions of deaths on their belts, which they definitely do. I'm not claiming that they don't. All right, so let's continue this clip here.
How is it so many people close to them died? How is it so many people close to them
everybody dies?
How is
Are
it
you
so
suggesting? Okay,
I'm asking the question.
You're asking a bizarre question.
Exactly.
Did people die? Did people die? No. What pisses me off, and I'm going to say this again because you apparently are not listening to me. You read a list of people off an obscure website that of conspiracy theory, taking a Venn diagram of everyone that ever worked in the orbit of someone who served in public life for 50 years, and you listed them, including people in the military, including strangers you could not pull out of a, and you are implying that there's something nefarious. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
Look at Weiner. He's really scared. Have you noticed that? Like, he's like passionately defending the Clintons. I don't, because he's afraid that he'll be next. If he's like, yeah, definitely, there's something weird going on here with this body count. There's definitely a conspiracy here, something going on, and we need to get to the bottom of it. He'd be dead by tomorrow. I mean, that's what he's afraid of, I'm sure. Bad Cookie says maybe the Bushes, but Bush Sr. being CIA master, none of these are known of. Bush was the head of the CIA under who? Was it Gerald Ford? I'm pretty sure it's Gerald Ford. Or no, it was because he was vice president under Reagan for 8 years. It had to be under Ford. He was CIA director. So yeah, that's definitely the way he had Weiner defensive on the edge. He had him. Yeah, I mean, this is terrible for Weiner. Weiner looks like he's scared of something. I don't know.
Do so, because I got another.
Let me finish my thought.
Here for you.
You're implying both with the question and with the website. The website says it explicitly. You're implying it. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You're implying that something.
You are implying. Go for it.
You are implying that something nefarious is afoot both with the question and with the list. Hillary Clinton, she's a big girl. I'm a big boy. You're a big boy. The people that you just listed.
They're all.
Listen to me. No, these are obscure people that you could not pull out.
Great politician, buddy.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Fantastic.
You know what? You are the classic.
You are a great politician, buddy. Well, Weiner was a politician, and he got elected in Congress over and over again until, of course, he decided to sex teenagers. And his career was over. But
you list someone's name, and are you going to go back and clarify? Are you going to go clarify?
You know what the qualities of your personality is. You want to really know that.
Ad hominem attack on me is going to somehow clear that person's name?
There isn't anybody at this table that's a bigger bully than you.
I tell you. Oh, yeah? You just listed some stranger with PFC.
Very good, deceptive way of pinning. Good for you guys.
You're reading you're reading a conspiracy website.
Good for you.
Some people say. Look at that fucking website.
To you. Pull up the Wikipedia. Is Wikipedia a conspiracy website?
You want to take?
No.
You want to take a run at me?
Wikipedia is a CIA-owned and operated website. I've seen what they put. They call it the Clinton body count conspiracy or something like that. So yeah, I'm not sure how seriously, but still, Wikipedia isn't one of these crazy conspiracy websites. I've seen the pictures. He's a big boy. I have not seen the pictures. To be clear, I've not seen Weiner's wiener, but he's apparently is, a big boy, let's say. I have not seen the pictures. I have no interest in seeing Anthony Weiner's wiener. But yeah, seriously, I mean, he's supposedly well endowed. Let's say he thinks he's sexy and cool. Gag me. I mean, Wiener, he's like he was in Congress for years, and I was like, really? I mean, I never really like was. He's always an ass, you know. He was like, yeah. I mean, with his rhetoric, I agreed with, but doesn't mean he was actually in favor of those things. You know, it's like if you think about it, Wikipedia literally is a conspiracy website. Yeah, well, it's CIA operated. Wikipedia is CIA operated. You can't. Like they'll have entries about the Clinton body count or entries about what happened through they'll call them conspiracy theories. They'll call them they won't really take it seriously. And if you try to edit the entry, well, you do take it seriously. They'll delete it and put the old entry back in. So definitely Wikipedia is not something that allows for actual discussion. Is more like it's basically what the deep state wants, wants people to believe.
Bring it all day, pal.
Hey,
bring it all day.
Sweetheart, Clinton body count.
Conspiracy theory, right at the top. Wait, can I throw a mic I can drop? Conspiracy, right at the top.
What's the point with that?
The point is conspiracy theories are by their very definition unsubstantiated.
How come other people don't have this conspiracy theory? How come Reagan doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
Oh, wait a minute.
How come Bush doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
On the PDB podcast,
how come John Kerry doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
Oh, wow, really?
Why do they, though? Some of the stereotypes are true. Like, you have some reputation. It's true, some of it.
Wiener's is melting down here. He's like melting down like a Wicked Witch of the West. Like, just melting down right in front of us. Like, he has nothing. And it's awkward. Yeah, the poor guest, he has that look, I wish I wasn't here look. Yeah, the two guys next to Wiener is like, yeah, it's like, either like, what the fuck's going on here? These two are fighting, and I'm just sitting here like this, It's like, like the host is fighting with Wiener. Other two guys are like, yeah, I don't want. It does not have nothing to do with this. I swear to God, this is Wiener and the host here. I don't know the host's name, but I've seen some clips of him before. So
some of the stuff they say about other people is true.
That's not a stereotype. That's a made-up story about strangers.
How come others don't have that made-up story?
People have it all the time. Look at the internet.
Give me another body count with another president or candidate. Give me another person.
Do you really think that someone within the...
Do me a favor and pull up another Barack Obama body count.
Do you really think... Oh, why don't you go to Barack Obama, not born in this country? By the way, where was that podcast? Did you guys do that one?
No. That's never
anything we discussed. Oh, why? Oh, come on. Some people say it.
Anthony,
there's a Wikipedia thing on it. Huh. These people are strangers that you just read a list of, and I think out of deference to them...
You're a dark human being.
Wait. Just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean that they didn't... That doesn't mean that we shouldn't at least discuss it, It's like all these people that have died around the Clintons, just because they're not public figures doesn't mean that this shouldn't be discussed, and we should ignore it and respect the family's privacy. I mean, come on. I like the guest that's actually wearing socks. He's the only one wearing socks. Oh, yeah, they're not wearing socks. You see, thank you, Screw Google, for noticing those small details. Like, none of these people are actually wearing socks, again, except for that one guy on the far right, I think.
Guy. You're
Settle
pretty
down,
dark.
pal. Settle down.
No. You're pretty dark to take the angle you did.
Listen to me. Talking topics now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You should cut that list out of those people.
Absolutely.
We can still have the argument. You and I are big boys. Cut that list out.
I'm not going to be cutting that list because the world
That's
needs...
right.
Here's what everybody
needs.
The
world needs... That poor person's family that you can't even name.
Exactly. That some people say... What does it matter now? They're dead.
Some people say.
What does it matter now? They're dead. Can you play that clip again?
Famous podcast host says some people say.
Play that clip again. What does it matter now? What does it matter now?
These people.
What does it matter
change
now?
the subject all you want. Anyone who read that list is still waiting for you to come back to that list and apologize to those people.
Do you realize why some people...
Apologize to those people.
Do you realize why some people...
You should...
All right, who's the bigger douche? Anthony Weiner or this host? Because they both come across as gigantic douchebags. Like... I love how he's owning Anthony Weiner and Anthony Weiner's melting down, but this host is big a douche as Anthony Weiner is. The Weiner is sockless and shameless. And Rick gets the cookie. Yeah, they're all... Rick Solis says they are rich capitalists arguing about who's more evil. All of them. Yeah, I mean, they're all fucking... just fucking evil and scumbags and pieces of shit, but who's worse? That's really what they're arguing about. It's not the Clintons. No. It's the Republicans. It's this guy. It's that. Please don't fucking don't talk shit about the Clintons, because hey, I could die tomorrow. Like Anthony Weiner has that type of meltdown. It's like I could die tomorrow. So please, I'm gonna desperately defend the Clintons because I don't want to end up dead like everybody else in that list. I don't want to be. And remember, Weiner's ex-wife. What's her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Whatever her name is, was a big loyalist to Hillary Clinton. Old man Barker, what's up, buddy? But what was her name? I forget her name, but she was she was really close to Hillary Clinton, to the point where, that she was like one of her top loyalists for decades. And that's Weiner's ex-wife. Right now, I can't remember her name right now. Maybe somebody in the chat remembers her name, but Huma Abedin, that's it. Huma Abedin was Weiner's ex-wife. Yeah, that's it. I just remembered right now. Was Weiner's ex-wife, and she was like a big Hillary Clinton loyalist for decades. Yeah, it's Huma Abedin. I remember. I literally just remembered. Like I'm just, like I you see her face. But I have no idea I forgot her name until now. Thanks for that, everybody. But let's finish this clip, and then I'll.
Should apologize to those people.
Why do you keep saying that? What does he need
Because
to
those
apologize
people,
about?
listing those people on some obscure website as if something about their death was shrouded in some kind of a mystery dishonors their memory. Now, if you are Hillary Clinton or Anthony Weiner, that may sound fine. If you are some person who has one of these jackasses on the internet showing up at their doorstep saying, "Tell me about the death of your father. How did Hillary Clinton?" We had someone walk into a pizzeria in Washington with a gun because of assholes like this.
I've heard that phrase before by other people. Play it again. Play it again. I've heard this phrase.
Oh, by the way, watch the whole Benghazi. Let's get the whole Benghazi.
No, it's the phrase.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night and decided to go kill some Americans?
You disagree with her point here?
Difference at
Play
this
that again.
point
Play that from the
doesn't
10
make
disagree with this
Play
point?
that from the 10-second mark. Not from.
All right, so that's that. I don't know whether there's more to this. I only saved that one tweet. Maybe there's more to this, because this is hilarious to me. These two. Where is?
Served in the military and dragging their name.
I don't need to hear that again. That's the Cornel West clip. I'll get to that. Oh, this is the full 18 minutes. Meltdown alert. Anthony Weiner's reaction says it all when asked about Hillary Clinton's kill list. What does he know? Good question. Good question.
Part of the Ivy Henry Bill Shell. Job is to listen because I like to.
They actually listed here. Okay, I didn't know that.
No, listing. We shouldn't be listing these things.
Well,
these things
it is
are
what it is.
destructive. People have actually had violence done over these things.
These are conspiracy theories that
all
some
that have
people,
books about them, though.
Right,
I wouldn't
but the one
recommend you
thing that we did look up that wasn't a conspiracy theory was the following. And this is the one that's kind of weird. And first thing I ask myself is, how the hell is our guy here, Anthony Weiner, still alive? What do you mean by that? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons,
got him,
and the Deadpool, this is not.
I didn't see this part. It's like, how is Anthony Weiner still alive? Like, damn, damn. It's like. Yeah, because Anthony Weiner embarrassed Hillary Clinton. I mean, Huma Abedin was his ex-wife, and Huma Abedin one of her top allies. And now he went to prison because he was showing off his wiener to 15-year-old girls. I'm surprised he's still alive. How is this man still alive and not dead and didn't die in prison? I don't know. But let's keep...
A conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, okay, Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner, died of an apparent heart attack. You know, Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Vince Foster.
Wait, I remember this one. I was a teenager in '97, and a White House intern was found dead. Murdered at a coffee shop, Starbucks in Georgetown. The murderer just happened after she was going to go public with her story of sexual harassment in the White House. Huh, that's interesting. I remember that one. I was like, huh, that's weird. Why? She was murdered It's like Monica Lewinsky. The difference is Monica Lewinsky is still alive. I don't know how that happened. Maybe she slipped through the cracks, but... Right. Vince Foster, again, White House counselor and colleague Hillary Clinton at Little Rock's Rose Law Firm, died of a gunshot wound to the head, rule of suicide, blah, blah, blah. This keeps going. There's like a bunch of names in this list.
Vince Foster was the next one. By the way, the James Dugan was a key witness in a Ken Starr investigation.
Ron Brown was in a plane crash. Why is he on the list?
Ron Brown is another one, but there was a close person to this. Victor Razor. You got Paul Tooley, Ed Woolley.
Wait a minute. You're reading a list of people that Bill and Hillary Clinton knew. They're 80. They're 70-something years old.
I'm asking you this question and an answer at the end. So,
Jerry Parks, head of Clinton's gubernatorial security team in Little Rock, gunned down in his car at a deserted intersection outside of Little Rock Park. Son said his father was building a dossier on Clinton. He allegedly threatened to reveal this information. After he died, the files were mysteriously removed from his house. James Bunch died from a gunshot suicide. It was reported he had a black book of people which contained names of influential people who visited prostitutes in Texas and Arkansas. Bill Clinton's home state, Arkansas. So, yep. Dead.
So you got Jerry Parks, Jane Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Candy Bowles, Florence Martin, Susan Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casolero, Paula Wilker, John Parnell Walker, Barbara Weiss. We should verify this yourself because you're
I don't know any of these names. I've never heard any of these people. You know, they all died horrible deaths, but I've never heard any of these people. Even though I was in Congress 10 years ago, and I was pretty powerful at one point within the Democratic Party. But yeah, I've never heard any of these names.
You're running a radio show. You should look it up.
I don't know any of these
Dr.
names.
Stanley Hurd, Barry Beal, Barry Seal, Johnny Longhorn,
Can you read me the URL you're reading?
Can you read me the URL you're reading? We'll send you the most credible source so you can look it up.
Know what you're reading.
We'll put the link below. We'll put the link below.
Just tell me so I know what I'm responding
Friday,
to.
Kevin Ivey, Dan Henry, Keith Coney. And these were part of the Ivy Henry case. Keith McCaskill.
What's the Ivy Henry case?
You can look it up.
Wait. I just saw something. Where was it? Died of a gunshot wound, shot 113 times, stabbed 113 times. What the fuck? I mean, that's not just a murder. That's fucking... Here it is. This is what I saw. James Milan, found decapitated. However, the coroner ruled his death was due to natural causes. What? Like that can't be real. James Milan, number 32, found decapitated. However, the coroner ruled his death due to natural causes. So my man James Milan was found with no head. No head, just decapitated. Who knows where his head is at? But somehow it was ruled natural causes. That's worse than Seth Rich. I swear to God, that's worse than Seth Rich. It's like Seth Rich gets shot twice in the back. He goes, nothing stolen from him. They call it a botched robbery. And they just move on. It's like the murderer to this day still not been found. He died of natural causes, and my man was decapitated. It's like no head. Coroner's like, yeah, he died of natural causes. Yeah, let's just move on, okay? Let's, like, what? It's like, that's so blatantly ridiculous that I can't believe anybody took that seriously. Assuming this is true, which I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's the Clintons, but Jesus Christ, that's just beyond ridiculous.
Okay, so Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Milland, Richard Winter, and then you got the close bodyguards, Major William Barkley, Captain Scott Reynolds, Brian Hanley, Tim...
Following Clinton bodyguards are also dead. Major William S. Barkley Jr., Captain Scott J. Reynolds, Sergeant Brian Hanley, Sergeant Tim Sable, Major General William Robertson, Colonel William Densberger, Colonel Robert Kelly, Spectre, I guess, Spec? I don't know what rank that would be, but Gary Rhodes, Steve Willis, Robert Williams, Conway LeBleu, and Todd McKeon. All these bodyguards are also dead.
Tim Sable, General William Robertson,
You don't even know what you're reading a list of. How is this
Densberger, Robert
helpful?
Kelly, Colonel Gary Rhodes, Steve Wills, Robert Williams, Conway LeBlue, Todd McKeon. I'm done. It's 46 names. And
can you read me the list? Can you read me the URL so I know what you read a list of before I answer any questions about it?
When I finish this, stillinthestorm.com. You can look it up.
Stillinthestorm.com.
You can look it up.
This is your big moment, guys.
Yeah, so you can go. And by the way,
ads about chemtrails at the end of it.
He hasn't even asked the question.
By the
He's
way,
just reading the article.
He's reading a list of names.
So,
he hasn't even asked the question. It's a list.
The fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not nervous. This stuff makes me sick when you read.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's getting nervous. He's already melting down. Let me read some of the chat because I know a lumberjack named Ark. People say, "Man, Ark can saw." Oh, come on. Ukraine admires the Clintons' killing machine, says Carlos. Yep. I mean, the Ukrainians are jealous. It's like, yep. Like, hey, I mean, can we kill the way the Clintons have gotten away with killing? No. Shit. He's very defensive and very upset. So this gets worse.
Exactly. It makes us sick as well. It also makes us sick.
It doesn't.
Of course, because the establishment makes us sick.
You start the question by reading a list of well-founded
Your reaction is an answer.
conspiracy. I know these things make me sick, and people have gotten killed.
Your reaction is
over
an
it.
answer.
Someone went into a pizza parlor in Washington because they believe this shit, and you're making an echo chamber.
Your reaction is an answer. So let me go to it here now.
No.
Your reaction is an answer.
List. Yeah, my reaction is my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me what that list, in your view?
You haven't allowed me to finish. If you allow me to finish the
question, because you're reading 46
then
random
you can
names
do
off the internet
whatever you want.
Of some fucking insane website.
I love your answer.
And these people,
some fucking website.
You don't even know who they are. You're reading them on a list of something, making some kind of as if it's somehow suspicious. You don't even know who these human beings are, who have families, who are out there. And now
I'll spend the next 2 hours with you, one by one, explaining each of these individuals are. If you want to do that.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was. No, not you. You were asking me the question. Pick one name and then tell me.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
No, Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times. Pull up one of the obscure names you pulled. Why did you pull Ron Brown? Here, let me read Ron Brown. Ron Brown, a Commerce Secretary who a plane crashed while he was on a humanitarian mission, crashed into the side of a mountain. So what do you want to know about Ron Brown? What do you want to know about Ron Brown?
Can you let me ask the question?
No, listen, this is a conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm the host. You invite me to your podcast. You get to ask the question. I'm the host. I'm going to ask you the question. You haven't let me ask.
Wait. Wiener has a podcast? I have no idea. I had no idea he was out of jail. Little he had a podcast. So I'll play a little bit more. I'm not going to play much longer because these, this kind of douche. Who's the bigger douche they're playing here? But
the question.
I didn't see
your reaction is already an answer.
I know. I am infuriated by people who drag other people's names who are powerless. You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is powerless.
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is powerless.
These people.
That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a list of people because you have the power to do it. People who do that are bullies, and I don't appreciate bullies.
I have the power to do what?
You do. To read a list of some stranger's names.
I have no idea what they're saying.
That's not DOJ.
Yeah.
DOJ didn't make this list.
Let me finish up my question.
Some jackass made a list in his basement.
You have the right to
You're reading their names as if they're incriminating in some way.
Right to
That's bullying, and I don't appreciate. And I stand up against bullies.
Please do so.
He's a bully. I stand up against bullies. You're a bully. That's really ridiculous. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, bully right there.
That's the question yet,
He's
Anthony.
reading a list and he's refused. And now he says, let's move on.
No.
Because I sketched your answer
Nobody
already.
has said move on.
He hasn't even asked the question. I don't even know what the question is.
Pick a name.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Reading
and you get to
list
answer
of people who
or
probably,
not answer.
And there are some of those people that had military titles in front of them, and you're dragging their name.
That's even the point.
You're dragging their name through the
point.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Because their families would want to know.
Because you've got a podcast.
Some of their
you can
families would want to know.
Some conspiracy theory podcast, some conspiracy theory that 9 people read. You find some guy that comes in, and then you go from Ron Brown to some obscure officer that used to protect Bill Clinton, who passed away. May he rest in peace for his service. And you are dragging them into some wacky conspiracy theory.
May all of them rest in peace. So here's the question for you, because millions of people are not convinced Hillary Clinton is a good person.
Again, with the other people, millions
including
of people.
myself. If you want to do that, I'm not
put the questions
I'm not
in your
worried
own.
about.
Don't try to make it about some bozo who put up a website. Put in your own words.
Here's a question for you, Guy. It's a very simple question for you. So, how is it when you think about other candidates? Okay, Everybody has a stereotype. You have a reputation whether you like it or not.
This is we already watched this, but that part I already watched. It's called The Middle with Anthony Weiner. That fuckwad actually has a podcast. That's what it's called? Okay, I have no interest in watching it, but thanks for letting everybody know. Bad Cookies, let's see. That's what it's called. You want to watch his podcast? Go ahead, but I wouldn't recommend it. Weiner only got 18 months in some country club resort. I wouldn't, but I had no idea. I know he went to jail, but I had no idea that you can't deny he's being extremely defensive. Yeah, Bad Cookies is right. If the host wasn't such a joke, he would have destroyed Weiner. Yeah, they're playing who's the bigger douche here.
What's your reputation? Your reputation is you like to text underage girls and you like to talk to girls and you sex sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it. Adam has a reputation. Adam is a playboy in Miami.
You better get back to that list of strangers you read a list of.
Trust me, I'm getting back to it. Tom's got a reputation. His reputation is a man who
And right now, your reputation is listing strangers who served in the military and dragging their names
I have a reputation to ask tough questions and piss some people like you off. That's my reputation.
Including dead people who I'm going to stand up for.
Oh, trust me. We are standing up for them more than you are standing up for them.
Let's see. You better get back to that list because we're going to clear some people's names today.
My question for you is, how is it that in the last 50 years...
All right, this part we actually did see, but...
Somehow clear that person's name?
All right, they keep arguing. Let's see.
Again, what does it matter now?
They keep arguing.
You disagree with
this? Go kill some Americans.
You disagree with her point here?
Difference at
Play
this
that again.
point
Play that
doesn't
three
You
times.
disagree with this
Play
point?
that from the 10-second mark. Not from that mark.
Play it from the 1 second mark so we really get context.
Right there. Go
Yeah,
play
he
right
did.
there.
Play it from the 1
got him.
second
Some
mark.
Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
He got him. It's like, that meme is like, got him. That's exactly what that was, when he mentioned Weiner's reputation by sending his wiener to underage girls.
Yeah,
So
let's hear it.
What a script. You're duplicating it very well.
Let's hear.
You're duplicating that script very well.
By the way, do you disagree with her point?
Of course I do.
You do?
Of course
that
I
it
do.
matters whether it was a protest that came from Libya to that family.
Do you know
to that family? And by the way, do you know why she cleaned the Republicans' clock in that hearing? Because she talked about how many times.
The clock? She ain't a president, guy. That's cleaning the clock. The American people cleaned her clock.
No, in the Benghazi.
Yeah. Why do you think she's not a president?
Focus.
Why do you think
the
she's not a
Benghazi hearing.
president? The American people
You bring
cleaned
up
her
a
clock.
clip and then you want to change it to 2000. Let's talk about that clip for a
She did to
second.
the Republicans. So going back to it, here's what you're doing right now, which is fantastic. You just influenced a lot of people to go do their own due diligence. You just influence a lot of people to go do their own due diligence.
You can find utter dirt. No, you did
Find
that,
out
pal.
for yourself. No.
I saw what you did by listing the conspiracy theories you're not going to ask about.
I'm not
I
going
saw
to
what
ask
you
about
did.
those things.
I'm sorry, that was dishonorable.
Yeah, which part's dishonorable?
The list of conspiracy theory you know is bullshit, but still putting it out
but
there.
This thing, there's a lot of
I think
credibility sources
people
behind
want
this.
bullshit's not true. Look at what you had to cite. Cite any media that you would ever read.
Hey, Weiner, the reason why I had to cite that little website, nobody covers this shit. Nobody want to touch the Clinton body count because they're all afraid of it. Everybody in Washington, everybody in legacy media, everybody in liberal media, online liberal media who established, y'all afraid to touch the story because they don't want to be called conspiracy theorists. That's why. They're also, if I can go to MSNBC.com and they talk about this, we would go there. But obviously you can't because they won't touch the story.
Your day-to-day life for that. Cite anything. Go call one of those people.
You still can't answer questions,
Have
can
one
you?
of your No, you make a point now responding to it. Have one of your producers call up one of those families and tell them if they want to be listed in one of these conspiracy podcasts.
You're so sweet for saying that. You're so sweet for playing this deceptive game.
Who's the bigger
I gotta tell you
douche?
from watching you for the last. I got to tell you.
I know this is not what you're used to, man. I'm sorry. It's funny. I texted with someone. Should I give them what they're used to, or should I, whatever? And they said just whatever.
You know how I knew who you were the moment you walked here? You know how I knew who you were when you walked
because I
in here?
disagree with you,
Let
man.
me tell you.
We have too much of this.
No. Let me tell you who you are, guy. Here's who you are.
This is good media. You're getting good content.
This is who you are. You walk up here and you said, "What's your name?"
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
No. You said, what's your name? And then you say, I call my friends to say, should I give these guys this? You know the name, you know the show, but you're
No. I was trying to find if you use your whole first name.
Like, hey, so it's like the player,
I apologize.
Like, what's your name? Because you're above everybody else as an elitist.
I apologize.
You position yourself as an elitist
I didn't know if you used...
and I was willing to give you a fair shake.
I apologize.
You walked off as an asshole, and that's what
I
you're getting.
apologize. I apologize. I didn't know if you used the shortened version of your name. I should have researched that and listened to how other people do it.
You didn't say that. You said, what's your name?
I know, but to see if you would give me a hint about what you said.
And then
people do it with me when I do Tony or Anthony.
I got a good memory like you do, Guy. You said, what's your name? I said Patrick. Then you asked, do you prefer Pat or Patrick? If you knew my name is Patrick, you would have eliminated one of the questions and you would have asked. So the point is, and by the way,
I was hoping you'd identify.
Okay, he's complaining about the fact that he disrespected him by asking him his name. It's like, yeah, he was patronizing, probably, maybe a douchebag. I don't know. That's Anthony Weiner for you. But still, I mean, I don't care about that argument. It's a stupid one. But let's see. It's a tough. Not even Fox News would touch Clinton body count. Yeah, even they know what's good for them. Even though, yes, they hate Democrats and they'll touch any conspiracy theory that hurts Democrats, but they won't even touch that one. I wonder why that is. But who's the bigger douche? I mean, it's Weiner. To me, it's Weiner because he's the one that likes sexing young girls and teenagers. But in this clip, I mean, I think the host was angry because he allegedly disrespected him by asking him his name and then purposely, just being an ass. But let's get out of this for now. So that was that. Anthony Weiner is back. I had no idea even that he's out of jail, but, let's see. I think I have a little bit more time. Hey, gamer, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I started earlier than normal, so that's why I was wondering where you were at, but here we go. The defense. Now let's talk about RFK Jr. and his appearance yesterday inside at Congress during the censorship hearing, which, by the way, is very interesting because the Democrats try to censor RFK Jr. in a hearing about censorship. Sabby had a good call-in show last night, but didn't wrap up until 4 a.m. her time. What? Sabby was live until 4 in the morning? Where? I assume on Colin, right? Not on YouTube. Good God. Alright, so I'm going to play this clip of RFK. They try to censor RFK Jr. here. It's like nearly 10 minutes. And then we'll discuss. Alright, so the tweet says, a defense of the First Amendment by RFK Jr. today is phenomenal. He calls out Democrats for their rejection of free speech and principles and says his father and uncle would have been appalled by it. Watch. Oh.
I want to put aside my written statement for a moment and address one of the...
Wow. Sabby's always up until 3 or 4 in the morning. She's such a gamer. Yeah, she's such a trooper. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that she would. I mean, I don't get me wrong. She's definitely, she's definitely she's definitely great. But I had no idea she'd stay up at 3 or 4 in the morning, doing this type of stuff. Yeah, I'm great though. I have no problem with that. She's excellent. But let's keep going.
Points that was brought up, I think an important point by the ranking member, that this body ought to be concerning itself with with issues that impact directly the American people. The rising price of groceries, 76% over the past 2 years for basic food stuff, the war in Ukraine, the inflation issues, the border issues, many, many other issues that concern us all as a nation. We can't do that without the First Amendment, without debate. When I gave my speech, my announcement...
I don't trust any rich person, or especially, the Kennedys are Democratic Party royalty, or they were until RFK Jr. decided to run. Everyone loves every Democrat loves the Kennedys, but yeah, I don't trust any rich asshole, no matter how much I may or may not agree with them. But it's still like, nope, don't trust them. So Indy's right there. Don't trust it. And that applies to any rich person, not just the Kennedys. But
announcement speech in Boston 2 months ago, YouTube, I talked about all those issues. I focused on grocery. I focused on the fact that working class people can no longer afford to live in this country. I talked about inflation, all the issues that deeply concern you, and that you've devoted your career to alleviating those issues. 5 minutes into my speech, when I was talking about Paul Revere, YouTube deplatformed me. I didn't talk about vaccines in that speech. I didn't talk about anything that was a verboten subject. I just was talking about my campaign and things, the conversation that we ought to be having with each other as Americans. But I was shut down, and that is why the First Amendment's important. Debate, congenial, respectful debate, is the fertilizer, it's the water, it's the sunlight.
I was just checking on my chicken. That's why I disappeared there for a second, but RFK Jr. makes sandwiches with sandpaper instead of bread. Yeah, look, before I say anything, I have a hard time understanding what he says a lot of times. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, he has an illness, obviously, that, you can't really understand the way he speaks. But still, I mean, I'm like, oh, geez. I mean, I can't really understand what he says. Angel is always cooking. Yeah, I do a lot of shit around the house, apartment, so I ended up with most of the chores, and the cooking. I'm baking it. I'm roasting it in the oven, the chicken. I left at midnight. Yeah, I mean, Sabby is like incredible, man. I mean, I don't know if I could stay at 3 or 4 in the morning. Maybe I could, especially if I'm talking about this stuff with other people. Maybe I could pull it off, but not every night. My body's like, nope, gotta get some sleep. Or I start doing this, I start doing this shit, this. Excuse me. Keep going.
Fight for our democracy. We need to be talking to each other. Now, this is a letter that many of you signed. Many of my fellow Democrats. I've spent my life in this party. I've devoted my...
See what he says there? My fellow Democrats. He's a Democrat. He's not... And the Democrats are treating him like he's worse than Trump. He's a fucking Democrat all the way. He's not a Trump. He's not a right winger. I mean, he's a fucking Democrat. And anyway, like Indy said, don't trust the Kennedys. Yeah, I mean, the Kennedys are the Kennedys. They're royalty. They're royalty in this country, especially among liberal Democrats. So they love the Kennedys. Unless it's RFK Jr., then he's a conspiracy theorist and the anti-vaxxer and a piece of shit. And fuck him, because he's running against Biden. So that's their attitude. Any other Kennedy, they're great. They're royalty.
Life to the values of this party. There's 102 people signed this. This itself is evidence of the problem that this hearing was convened to address. This is an attempt to censor a censorship hearing. The charges in this, and by the way, censorship is antithetical to our party. It was appalling to my father, to my uncle, to FDR, Harry Truman, to Thomas Jefferson, as the chairman referred to. It is the basis for democracy. It sets us apart from all of the previous forms of government. We need to be able to talk, and the First Amendment was not written for easy speech. It was written for the speech that nobody likes you for. And I was censored not just by the Democratic administration. I was censored by the Trump administration. I was the first person censored as the chairman pointed out, by the Biden administration 2 days after it came into office. It ordered a truthful, and by the way, they had to invent a new word called malinformation to censor people like me. There was no misinformation on my Instagram account. Everything I put on...
Yes, Bad Cookies is right. If you're new here, please give me a like, please subscribe, etc., and all that good stuff.
That account was cited and sourced in peer-reviewed publications or government databases. Nobody has ever pointed to a single piece of misinformation that I publish.
Wait a minute, who died? I mean, I'm kind of missing it. Tony Bennett died, is that it? like, is it? Yeah, I know who he was. I mean, is that right? Did I read that correctly? Because I'm looking at the video and I'm like, somebody died and talking about how great his voice was. So, oh, okay, he was 96. He had good voice and he had Alzheimer's. Yeah, well, rest in peace, Tony Bennett. I mean, I
I was removed for something they called malinformation. Malinformation is information that is true, but it's inconvenient to the government that they don't want people to hear. And that's antithetical to the values of our country. After I announced my presidency, it became more difficult for people to censor me outright. So now I'm subject to this new form of censorship, which is called targeted propaganda, where people apply pejoratives like anti-vax. I've never been anti-vaccine, but everybody in this room probably believes that I have been, because that's the prevailing narrative. Anti-Semitism, racism, these are the most appalling, disgusting pejoratives, and they're applied to me to silence me, because people don't want me to have that conversation about the war, about groceries, about inflation, about the war on the middle class in this country that we need to be having.
I can't believe Harry Kissinger's still alive. What is he, 100? How is he not dead? I don't know. How he's not fucking dead? I don't know. I mean, there's an old saying we have in Spanish, which is "Yerba mala nunca muere." In other words, weeds never die, which is, they always come back. They're always like horrible. So I can't believe Kissinger's still alive. I mean, it's like holy crap.
And by the way, I want to say this while I'm on the record, that in my entire life, and why I'm under oath.
Yes, Kyle Kulinski is crap, and I will cover him after this. It's just that, I want to get through this too.
In my entire life, I have never uttered a phrase that was either racist or anti-Semitic. I have spent my life fighting my professional career, fighting for Israel, for the protection of Israel. I have a better record on Israel than anybody in this chamber today. I'm the only person who has publicly objected to the $2 billion payout that the Biden administration is now making to Iran, which is a genocidal program. I'm the only one who's objected to that. I've fought more ferociously for Israel than anybody. But I am being censored.
You see that? I have fought for Israel more ferociously than anyone. You hear that shit? I'm like, yeah, of course you have. That's one of the problems people have with RFK. The fact that he fought really for the Kennedys, Kyle used to be decent until the money he got him to, and he married Crystal. Yeah, Kyle was. If you're new in the chat, make sure you give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and to subscribe to INN, all that good stuff. So I might not play the rest of it. I don't know. We'll see how many more minutes before. Monarch says, and Jesus, it's really popping in the chat. Thank you. RFK Jr. doesn't deserve these baseless smear. I'd rather focus on challenging RFK's unique policies, be it crypto, Palestine, healthcare, education, ending the inflation, exposing corporate greed, etc. Yeah, I mean, the only thing with RFK is he's all in on the Israeli government. He's pro-Israel, and he's doesn't like criticizing Israel. Which is why I'm like, which is why I'm saying, which is one of my problems with him, and he's running as a Democrat, so I'm not going to support a Democrat no matter what. So JFK was legit, and the deep state hated him. Look, I'll say this right now about his uncle JFK. JFK was the last real president we had. Once he was killed, once he was assassinated, every U.S. president after that fell in line. Fell in line with the CIA/deep state wanted. They all fell in line. All these fuckers. All these presidents fell in line. So Yeah, he was the last real president we had, or an actual U.S. president. So, an RFK is orange-pilled and perhaps have a conflict of interest in Bitcoin, but that can be another conversation another time. That's interesting. I would be open-minded to looking that up. Because, let's play a little bit more of this, and then I'll move on.
Here, through this target, through smears, through misinterpretations of what I've said, through lies, through association, which is a tactic that we all thought we had been discredited and dispensed with after the Army McCarthy hearings in the 1950s. But those same weapons are now being deployed against me to silence me. I know many of the people who wrote this letter. I don't believe there's a single person who signed this letter who believes I'm anti-Semitic. I do not believe that. There is no evidence of that. I want to say something I think that's more important, and it goes directly to what you talked about, ranking member, which is the need, this toxic polarization that is destroying our country today. And how do we deal with that? This kind of division is more dangerous for our country than any time since.
Yeah, I mean, I love coffee. I drink at least 2 cups in the morning. So, all right, let's a little bit more of this.
The American Civil War. And how do we deal with that? How are we going to? Every Democrat on this committee believes that we need to end that polarization. Do you think you can do that by censoring people? I'm telling you, you cannot. That only aggravates and amplifies the problem. We need to start being kind to each other. We need to start being respectful to each other. We need to start restoring the comedy to this chamber and to the rest of America. But it has to start here. My uncle, Edward Kennedy, has more legislation with his name on it than any senator.
All right, he goes on about the his uncle Ted Kennedy, and he goes on with JFK and all this other stuff. I mean, he makes some interesting points, but ultimately, he's upset because Democrats, are smearing him as anti-Semitic, and this is my party. I've been in this party all my life, and you guys are attacking me. Why are you attacking me? This isn't right. That's basically what this boils down to, and it's annoying. I'm honestly sick of it, so I'm sure there's some RFK Jr.'s supporters in the chat. I'm not one of them. I mean, I understand why you are, maybe you are, but at the same time, it's like, I don't vote for Democrats anymore. I agree with some things RFK says, but RFK Jr., excuse me. RFK, his father was murdered years ago, but yeah, I mean, it's, he seems to be more offended that, or upset that his own party's attacking him than what's what I'm looking for. Then the First Amendment violations, which he was there to talk about. If you're new in the chat, welcome. Please make sure you like and subscribe. The likes really do help and get my stream out there more. Let's see. Now let's go here. Was Kyle Kulinski always this dumb? And Snow Himbo, my buddy who helped me with the assets, thank you very much, says, and there's this old tweet from Kyle from, oops, let's do that, Angel. Let's actually do that. Then people could see what the hell you're talking about. I see Angel moving on to a new career as an RFK Jr. impersonator. Was I that good at it? I didn't think I was, but I guess I was. Maybe because I'm in front of a fan, which is why it seems like it comes out more. My voice comes out like that, but. Alright, this is an old Kyle Kulinski tweet from 2012. I'm going to read it. This is not my words, this is his words. If you're 50 and white, don't dance. You already run the world and have money. Just admit that some things a monkey with autism can do better than you. Shit. That's not only ableist, but racist, and that's ableist and racist at the very least. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure ableism is disabled people. Again, I don't know exactly about what's all the ists, whether it be racist, sexist, ableist, all this other stuff. But does Kyle apply that logic to Biden too? No, he's too busy blowing Biden. But let's move on. Let's move on to the actual video now. It's just plain dumb and unfunny. I mean, Kyle's always been a corny motherfucker. Even back to, when he was actually making sense. So, let's go. I'm going to play most of this video, but this is funny. Was Kyle Kulinski always this dumb? The answer is yes. Just that I didn't notice because I was a big fan of the fucker. So, that's why I didn't notice how dumb the fucker is, It's... I subbed to Kyle in 2021 or so. I subbed from him probably in 2020. And the reason why I say that is because this is around the time where he started Crystal Kyle and Friends. Once he started that relationship, I quickly realized, yeah, this dude he want to be a part of the DC establishment. So fuck him. I was done at that point. I was never crazy about him, Lori says. He just didn't spark it for me. Yeah, I mean, he's an arrogant little fucking prick. Okay, let's see. Where is... Oh, here we go. Let me go here. Look at Kyle's pinned tweet. And to this day, it's still there. See, January 1st, 2021. This is when he announced his podcast. This is still his pinned tweet to this day. The surprise is landed. Introducing Crystal Kyle and Friends, episode 1 with Marianne Williamson. The first episode of the podcast was with Marianne Williamson. What a coincidence that is. 100% ad-free, 100% free audio podcast. Oh, by the way, that didn't last long because they actually charge for the video version now. I hope you all enjoy it. Much love and Happy New Year. Subscribe on Substack here. Kyle's not said one word about Marianne Williamson's campaign in a few weeks. I am too. I pointed that out, I think, in a stream last week or 2 weeks ago. Neither Crystal or Kyle has mentioned her campaign in like 2 or 3 weeks. They were all in on Marianne Williamson. They were all in. Damn it, Angel and Rick Solis have me craving pollo guisado. By the way, I love pollo guisado. It's absolutely delicious. No, it sucks. I missed the original Secular Talk Studio was the best one. I think Monarch is right, but no, I'm sure Crystal Ball designed this new set, whatever it is. I mean, because it looked like a woman designed it. Honestly, it looks like a woman designed the shit. All right, so let me actually play a couple of videos here, if I can find them. Just bear with me 1 second while I look for the video that I do want to play and then react to. Let's get rid of that. There's no need for that. Queen of TikTok. Yeah, that Kyle literally said Marianne Williamson was the queen of TikTok. I'm like, but wait, even if let's say she was, which she isn't, by the way. Let's say she was. most TikTok users are teenagers. They can't vote anyways. So even if she was the queen of TikTok, excuse me, even if she was the queen of TikTok, those fuckers can't vote anyways. All right, so this is the video that went viral. This is the video of Kyle that went viral, which is the one, I'm sure all of you seen. Cornel West versus Hannity Fiery Debate is called. He fully, Cornel, he goes, basically he's condescending towards Cornel West. I mean, you've seen the clips on Twitter. They've gone viral. I've commented on him. Everyone's commented on him. How Kyle's bleached hair is probably Crystal's idea too. I'm sure it is. I mean, this man has no balls. He's admitted to this when the whole Jimmy Dore, Aaron Mate, TYT thing. That he didn't want to get involved in it because he's too, he's friends with all of them. He didn't want to go who's right and who's wrong. Blah blah blah. So he's a coward by definition. So, which is why I don't know how anybody take KK seriously with that hair. He looks, if you guys play Metal Gear Solid, it's so bleached that it's white. It's not even bleach blonde anymore. It's bleach white. He looks like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid games. If you know what I'm talking about, you say, yeah, you're right. He's not. Bad Cookie says, not true, Angel. Kyle has balls. Crystal has them in a jar on her shelf. He cut off his nuts and put in a jar. Okay, fine. He has the balls, but he doesn't have them between his legs. Crystal has them in her purse or in jars. I don't know. And that's pure speculation on my part. Alright, so I'm going to play this video for you. Let me actually try to play.
Is running for president of the United States. Of course, now he's running with the Green Party. He's going to have to get through their primary first, but nonetheless, he will, likely get through it and then be on the ballot in the general election. Well, he went on Sean Hannity.
We're live on Indie's Right. We're live on Rumble too. So if you happen to be on Rumble, check that shit out too. Because we need more of that. We're also live on Rofkin, or I'm also live on Rofkin. So check that out too in the chat. So.
Hannity show, and this is an interesting exchange that you're about to see here. He kind of triggers Hannity with a certain criticism of Trump, or more specifically, Trump's dad. Watch this.
And if Democrats really want to combat racism, sexism, well, they may want to start from within. After all, it was the Democratic Party that founded the KKK.
We have a bunch of professional right-wing commentators who rely on their audience not knowing what a political realignment is. It's astonishing. They play hide the ball with a basic political concept that perfectly explains why that was the case. There were racist Southern Democrats. They were called Dixiecrats. And then, where did they end up going, Sean?
Oh, by the way, those racist Southern Dixiecrats helped pass the New Deal, which Kyle Kulinski loves, has a crush on the New Deal and FDR. Without Dixiecrats, they don't pass the New Deal, and we don't have Social Security. We don't have Social Security basically, because that's really the only real thing that survived from the New Deal era. So we don't have Social Security. So yep, I regularly watch Glenn Greenwald on Rumble. Look, here's the thing with Rumble. I love Rumble, but at the same time, it's like I always gravitate. I try to watch more content on Rumble. I make an active effort to do that because I don't want to just have YouTube. There has to be other content. There has to be other websites besides goddamn Google. Crystal has her own version of Hide the Ball. It's up Kyle's butt. Oh shit! I love this stuff. The New Deal. Rick Sola says New Deal didn't extend to black people. Yes. This is the point I've also made too. The New Deal didn't apply to black people because the Dixiecrats helped pass it. And the Dixiecrats definitely they're not going to fucking want black people to, have Social Security. Lori says FDR saved capitalism. That's exactly right. He saved capitalism. I mean, they had an excellent chance to go socialist or communist or whatever, but but it didn't happen because FDR saved capitalism. I mean, he said, yeah, let me save capitalism, but at the same time, let me put in basically social democracy or social democrat. Half capitalism, half half socialist, half capitalist. That's what I'm looking for. But Kyle won't tell you that because Kyle, he has a man crush on FDR.
What are their voting habits like today and for the past 4 or 5 decades? Oh, that's right. They're now Republicans. But he just does it's amazing. It's so dishonest because he knows this. He knows what a political realignment is. He knows that's a ridiculous talking point. Jesus Christ.
They're the ones that...
Wait. How much of a political realignment really happened? Let's think about it for a second. To this day, the Democratic Party is pushing racist policies. They passed the crime bill. They passed the crime bill. They over and over again allow for more police spending. They increase the police budgets federally over and over again, which we know police tend to go after African Americans more. Hell, right now I live in public housing, mostly African American neighborhood, and I see police around here all the time. I mean, it's like, and they're always going after African Americans. I mean, again, they may be because they're committing crimes. I don't know, but I've always seen there's always a major police presence in this area. It's like, god damn. I mean, what are all these cops doing here? So, yep, people were starving. There would have been a revolution. He didn't do the New Deal. Laurie says, exactly. That's why he did the New Deal, because FDR was a millionaire. His family were millionaires. It was like, oh shit, if I don't do something, I mean, there's going to be a revolution in this country, and, that's the end of capitalism. We had to save capitalism, so...
fought against school integration and are now fighting against school choice.
To be fair, it's true that Joe Biden, it says on screen, Joe Biden didn't compromise with segregationists. He fought for their cause in schools, experts say. That's actually true. That's actually true.
It is,
now, a lot of Republicans also agreed with Joe Biden on that. They agreed with him doing the crime bill.
Wait. You can't excuse Joe Biden for that. He did say he didn't want his kids living in a racial jungle. You can't excuse Joe Biden of that. You can't do it. You can't just, well, Republicans agreed too, guys, so Joe Biden can't be all that bad, right? Come on. Like, he's trying to excuse Joe Biden's racism by saying, well, Republicans are racist too. Remember that. Let's not forget that basic fact. They're the racists. Joe Biden is the savior of black people. Fucking asshole.
But that part is accurate.
Biden himself worked with segregationists, including his mentor, the former Klansman.
It's true. He did it on busing. That is true. But it's just very rich coming from Sean Hannity because he's actually even worse on all
It doesn't matter. It's all true. You can't point, well, Sean Hannity's worse. He's bigger racist than fucking Joe Biden is. You can't do that. You have to take the L and say, yes, the candidate I support is a fucking racist. You have to take the L. You can't just point the finger at other people and try to not take responsibility for that.
These issues.
He didn't want his kids to grow up in a, quote, racial jungle. And in 1993, it was Biden that co-sponsored the crime bill that resulted.
Sean Hannity supports the crime bill. He's not telling you that. Joe Biden did this terrible thing that
Again, it doesn't matter. Sean Hannity could support the crime bill all he wants. He's pointing out the truth, which Joe Biden wrote the goddamn crime bill, which was a racist attack on African Americans and put them all in jail so we can have cheap labor with African Americans in goddamn prison. The 13th Amendment makes it clear. We ban slavery in the United States. There's a caveat, unless they committed a crime. That caveat makes it easier to put black people in prison and fucking make them do all our shit for low costs or for free. I mean, hell, how much do prisoners get paid to make license plates? I don't know. So this is ridiculous. Like, he's trying to Sean Hannity, bigger racist. Don't worry, Joe Biden isn't a racist. He is a racist, but he's not as big a racist Sean Hannity is, or Fox News. Pathetic. It's a pathetic. It's not much of a defense. Let's keep going.
I totally agree with. Dude, you consider yourself tough on crime. You love something like the crime bill. What are you doing? But when it's too...
Yes, Bad Cookies make a good point here. It's not just African Americans. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters also were jailed a high number for prison labor. Yeah, and I'm Puerto Rican. I'm right there with you. I completely. It's not just African Americans, but it's also Hispanic. Go to Cali, where over half the prisoners are Hispanic. No, well, that's because there's a larger Hispanic population in California. But yeah, you make a good point. Bad Cookies make a good point there too. There's a lot of illegal aliens in California too, which is why you imprison them, you take advantage of their labor, cheap labor, and then you deport them. That's bullshit, but that's what's going on in California. I mean, it's like, yep, let's imprison them. Oh, make license plates for us for like 6 months or a year. Oh, then you can fuck off back to Mexico.
To attack, see, this is the whole point, man. No principles. When it's to attack Biden, it's like he'll just bury the fact that he supports that same legislation. It's just dishonest. This is what he does.
Mass incarceration of African Americans who Biden referred to as predators on our streets. Left-wing scholar Dr. Cornel West is now openly accusing
Again,
Biden.
That's 100% true. He did say that. Hillary Clinton also said they were super predators and we need to make them heal back in the 90s when they passed the crime bill. But yeah. Bryce Smith says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Angel. Good morning. What time is it over there? Where you live at? 11 or 10? Well, good morning, Bryce. I mean, Lori says, what's the cost now incarcerate one person per year? Last time I checked was $55,000 a year. I wish I made $55,000 a year. I don't make nowhere near that shit. I make nowhere near $55,000 a year. And right now I'm broadcasting with you guys from a Google Chromebook, which cost me $150, and this cheap ass headset, which cost me $20, which is why I sound like shit. So yeah, I 11:46 in the morning. Well, good morning. For a few more minutes. So yeah, I mean, it's, so I don't make anywhere near $55,000 a year. And meanwhile, in order to put somebody in jail, it costs $55,000 a year. Great. That's why they keep building new jails and private prisons, because ultimately you got to profit off that, right? There's private prisons popping up all around the country. And they're like, it's more expensive in private prisons than in public prisons. Neither have I, Lori. I've not come. The closest I've come was 10 years ago. Excuse me. I made around $30,000, and I was working full time. No, I was working. It was right before the crash. Right before the crash in 2008, I was making decent money. I was living on my own. I was doing well for a non-college grad. Then the crash happened. Everything. I lost my job. I moved back in with my mother. I believed Obama. I fell for the trick. I went to college. I didn't finish college because I ran out of Pell Grants, and they basically told me to go fuck myself. So I dropped out. I didn't take out any student loan debt because I didn't want to have all that debt on my head, on my shoulders, and then it's like, oh yeah, I can't buy a house. I can't do anything. I can't buy a car, and I'm 36 years old, about to turn 37 next month, and I'm still stuck living with my mother. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and assholes like Kyle Kulinski here telling me, oh, vote Democrat, keep voting harder, it'll be fine, trust us. I'm a rich white asshole, from New York, and I married an even bigger rich white asshole from Virginia and lives in Washington. But we'll be fine. Trust us. We'll be fine. I'll be fine. My wife will be fine. But fuck you and keep voting Democrat because we need your vote. Piece of shit. Keep going.
Biden of committing crimes against humanity against African Americans. Dr. West is seeking the Green Party's nomination for president in 2024.
Now, let me just explain to you real quick what's going on here. This is Fox News is clever. They're very clever with how they approach politics. The goal for them is 24/7 beat up on Democrats. And so
I majored in I'm 35. I live with my parents still. Yep, it's capitalism. But I majored in business and politics. That was my major. Because I thought to myself, this is 10 years ago. I'm not the man now then that I am now. So I majored in business and politics. And I thought to myself, I'm going to graduate college. I'm going to law school. I'm going to become a lawyer. And I'm going to make a shit ton of money. And I'll be fine. Of course, that didn't work out because I burnt out like halfway through my college career. And the money ran out. The Pell Grants ran out. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. There was one semester where I took 15 credits. I got straight A's and 1 B. So I was doing well. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to knock out this college thing quickly. The next semester, I was so burnt out, I didn't go to class. And I finished with like 2 C's and 2 B's and a D. And I was done. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. In 1 semester. So, Bad Cookie says, tell us how you really feel about Kyle, Angel. No, look, I know I built this reputation, basically my reputation of going after Kyle, but that what Lori said, that was what I was going to do. I got my BA in history, but I couldn't afford law school. Yeah, even if I would have got my bachelor's, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford law school anyways, but I was like, I was delusional to think that, hey, I can get some scholarships, I can go to law school, and I can become a lawyer. And my delusion, most likely I would have to take out a shit ton of loans and not be able to pay them back. Because there's no way in hell that I would work for a corporation. I would have done legal work to help immigrants and stuff like that, which wouldn't have made a shit ton of money anyway. So it's like, yeah, I was fucked. So I dropped out at that point. We need free colleges, Gamer says. Yeah, I 100% agree. And what's funny about it, and again, I'm kind of going on and on here, but what's funny is you guys know, I have a girlfriend. I'm dating a woman. She's a psychologist. She graduated. She has her doctorate from Rutgers University. She went to Rutgers here in New Jersey, and she was telling me how, she took out all these loans. She paid them off, of course, so she's good. But she was telling me, why don't we have free college? Why don't we have free college? And I'm like, well, obviously that's a good question. I agree with that. If we had free college, I would go back to school right now. But we don't because of the government corruption. And she was telling me, like, we should have free college. But I tell her, why do you keep voting Democrat then? Because she's a liberal Democrat, she's a normie Democrat, basically, so I was like, why do you keep voting for the party that won't give us free college? I'm like, well, what option do we have? We went on and on about this, we had a debate, and, and ultimately we agreed to disagree, but she was like, we should have free public college. I'm like, no shit, I totally agree with you. I got a degree in computer science. It was worthless because tech changes drastically from year to year. Yeah, that's the thing. Degrees are ripoffs for the most part, unless you're talking about a business degree or a law degree or something like that. But also, it's a piece of paper. If you graduated from Harvard with a degree in archaeology, good luck trying to get a job. You ain't getting no fucking job. Actually, today, we found near pretty much everything. If you graduate with a degree in art, I don't know what job you can get with a bachelor's in art. Or a bachelor's in music, unless you're become a famous musician. But So let's keep going this video. I've ranted long enough.
So they will even bring somebody on who is to the left of the Democrats to attack the Democrats from a left-wing perspective, because they don't care how you're attacking the Democrats as long as you're attacking the Democrats. The substance doesn't matter to them.
Look, by that logic, I would love to go on Fox News. I'll attack Democrats all day long. I don't give a shit. I'll go on Fox News today and attack Democrats on Hannity's show, whoever's show. I'll attack Democrats all day long because they deserve to be attacked. And they're the party in power, by the way. So they need to be attacked more often than what they are. Why did I unsub from Kyle K? Very simple. According to Monarch, it was his lousy take on Peru. Fiorella, and to an extent Jackson Hinkle back then, did a better breakdown of Peru, having to do with Castillo and Peru's government. Yeah, look, Kyle knows shit about foreign policy. He doesn't know a goddamn thing about what's going on in the world. He just repeats whatever the corporate media says and then gives his opinion based on that. He doesn't know shit. Carlos says, I think your girlfriend should be your co-host. Go head-to-head with Crystal, Kyle, and Freds. Here's the thing. She's kind of shy. She doesn't want to be on camera, so like I did. So it's like, I couldn't... Maybe I can... I don't know, but it's an interesting idea that maybe we should co-host a stream or a podcast or whatever, but it'd be interesting. But I don't think she would do it, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll ask her next time I see her or talk to her.
What matters first and foremost is just attack Democrats. So it's a trick, it's a strategy, and honestly, it works pretty well. Now, they try to do the same thing with Marianne. You know, they invite on Marianne, and they're like, why don't you go ahead and tell us how Biden's brain is not functional?
Oh my God, what a shitty lineup
so
from the Yankees.
Go, see, even the left agrees his brain isn't functional. So it's all a strategy, it's all a trick. It's a very effective trick. But what Marianne did is Marianne would be like, look, I'm not...
Jordan Deck, welcome to the stream. College has just become one of the various scams that is the U.S. Everything's scam in our economy, politics, and education. Yeah, I mean, it's a scam. That's why I didn't finish college, because I realized that. I agree with your assessment, Desert says. I agree with your assessment of KK Angel. I want to know about, if I want to know about geopolitics, I watch David Pakman. I wouldn't recommend that, but I get it.
I'm not playing your game. I'm not doing personal attacks. I'll talk about where I disagree with Biden on policy. I'm not going to get personal. But more importantly, for all my disagreements with Biden, I have way more disagreements with you, Sean Hannity, and Fox News, and Donald Trump, and Ron DeSantis. As bad as Biden is, you guys are significantly worse, and it's not even close. Not even close. So Cornel West goes on, and to his credit, he does the same thing as Marianne. He's like, yeah, okay, y'all go after Biden a little bit. But let's not forget, you guys are just as bad, if not worse. All right, let's watch.
Always good to have you back. How are you, my friend?
Oh, indeed. I appreciate you having me back, and hope you and your family doing all right. It's been a while, my brother.
I love when you call me Brother Sean. You're always welcome to do so. You are saying that Biden committed crimes against humanity against black Americans.
I just spilled my goddamn beer.
Race issues, and you called out the Democratic Party's history. Let me ask you this.
All right,
why overwhelmingly do minorities and African Americans, Hispanic Americans, why are they still continuing to vote in large numbers in the Democratic Party?
Because they're a trillion times better than Republicans. We have a two-party system. We don't have ranked...
My ass cheeks. My Puerto Rican ass cheeks, they're a trillion times better. Are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't believe when he said that. I couldn't believe that he said that. Like, the Democrats are a trillion times better than Republicans. I couldn't goddamn believe that. When I saw that clip, I was like, my goddamn Puerto Rican ass, they're better. They're a trillion times better. I mean, I like, really, dude? You really... let's keep going, but... Excuse me, but...
Ranked choice voting. We still have first-past-the-post voting, so either the Republican or the Democrat is going to win, and minority communities have accurately come to the conclusion, oh, the Democrats are just way better.
Boy, who are you to speak for minorities? Like, this rich white boy here from New York, who's right there, or right there, whatever. The rich white boy here says, oh... He speaks for minorities, guys. He says, well, I mean, obviously the Democrats are a trillion times better, and which is why minorities vote for them. Like, who are you to speak for us? Who is this gringo asshole to speak for us? To speak for black people or Latinos or Asians or whoever? Like, who is this fucker to speak for us? You don't speak for me, bitch. He doesn't. This gringo here doesn't speak for me. He doesn't come close speaking for me. So go fuck yourself. You're not going to speak for me. No, the Democrats suck. I have no interest in voting for them ever again. I won't vote for Republicans either. Let's be clear about that. If I do vote, which right now, if I would vote for anybody, I vote for Cornel West. But I have issues with Cornel West too, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, this fucker. Who are you to speak for me? I don't know, but Kyle doesn't want another black president. I guess not. With that logic, But let's keep going.
They're just way better.
Yeah.
Like
Bullshit.
98% of the Republican Party wants to cut Social Security, wants to cut Medicare, wants to cut Medicaid.
Whoa.
Don't.
Whoa, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. The Republicans, the Democrats do want to cut Medicare and Social Security. In fact, let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's go back 10 years, around 2010, 11, 12, when Obama was president. Who remembers the Grand Bargain? Who remembers that? Who remembers that in the chat? The Grand Bargain. Biden was heading up the negotiations for Republicans. What are we going to do? Oh, yeah, that's right. They were going to cut Social Security. They were going to cut Medicare. They were going to cut Medicaid using an accounting trick called chain CPI. I'll never forget this because this is where I said, fuck Obama. Fuck Obama. I won't vote for him again. That's what happened. They tried to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And Kyle was pretending that didn't happen. Or at least he didn't tell his audience that happened. Look it up. Yeah, it did happen bad. I mean, they tried to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid with the Grand Bargain like 10 years ago. This is right around the time of the what am I forgetting when it's called? Occupy Wall Street. Right after that time, Biden been trying to cut Social Security for decades. Biden been trying to cut Social Security for decades since he was in the Senate. And Kyle has the nerve to say, "Well, Democrats don't want to cut Social Security or Medicare." Yeah, that's bullshit. Bull fucking shit. He wants to. The Democrats are desperate to cut it, and they're the only ones who can. What you think? You think when Trump was president, if he tried to cut Social Security and Medicare, Democrats will allow it? Of course not. They would go on and on about how awful the Republicans are for cutting Social Security. Lori says, "I remember that, but look how they wiped Medicaid for thousands when the pandemic ended." Yes, I forgot about that. Biden just cut Medicaid, and that deal with debt ceiling. He just cut Medicaid for a bunch of Americans. The reason why I straight up, I have Medicaid. I have New Jersey Family Care. And the reason why I was able to keep it because I filled out the paperwork in time and sent it back in. That's why I was able to keep it. Because or else then I'd be pretty fucked myself. So yeah. So Biden cut Medicaid. And somehow Kyle wants his audience to believe that Democrats don't want to cut any social programs. But meanwhile, the piece of shit Republicans do. No, fuck you. The Democrats want to cut it too. And you have no problem with it because ultimately you're a Democrat.
Some of them do, but the overwhelming majority of them don't.
Not true.
So maybe that's why
the majority of them do want to cut it.
On a lot of substantive issues. Now, that's not to say they're good. That's not to say they're perfect. They're far from it. But if you do an objective empirical analysis as to whose policies help regular working class people of color more, it's not close. It's not close. So that's why, Sean, that's why they do it. Jesus Christ. And again, there was a political realignment where all those open Southern racists are now with the Republicans. So minority communities are like, I'm going to go ahead and not throw my lot in with the people who are still massively openly racist against minorities. Okay, let's continue.
Bullshit. Really? They're not openly... No. Very simple. Democrats are racist. They continue to be racist. They will always be fucking racist. Here's the thing. They pretend to be pro-minority because it helps them politically. The only reason why LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act is because he got pressured into it by MLK and Malcolm X and all the protesting. That's the only reason why he signed it. What, you think the racist LBJ from Texas wanted to sign the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act? Fuck no. He's like, he constantly dropped the M-bomb on black people like it was nothing. LBJ was not some sort of liberal on this. He wasn't. He's a racist, a straight up racist from Texas. So, yeah, this is bullshit. This is the Democrat Party. What, you think they wanted to sign the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act? No. No. He's out of his mind, this guy. He's such a Democrat these days. He's out of his mind.
Well, one is I think more and more fellow citizens are reaching the conclusion that the whole system is so rotten, brother. You got both parties that are so corrupt with politicians who are tied to big money. This is true for Republicans. It's true for Democrats. You were talking about Brother Trump himself and Biden's connection to Stennis, Biden's connection to Thurman. We know Brother Trump's, his own father has been tied to the Klan. Trump's language about black people.
Hold on a second. I've never heard his father. Professor, I've never heard that allegation. Never once.
Trump,
now, I know
Trump's
Joe Biden said he didn't want our schools to be integrated and be racial jungles.
So this is
see, this is my criticism of Cornel West. Like, he doesn't go after Biden enough. Like, he wants to save all his ammo to Trump. It's like, well, Trump's a racist too, and on top of that, Trump's dad was a racist in the KKK as well. I got shit in my eye. What the fuck? Somehow Trump was racist as well. So his father was arrested with the KKK in a riot, which he was. But here's the thing. Trump isn't president. I think Cornel West needs to spend more time going after Biden than going after Trump. That's my opinion. Yeah, he needs to save more ammo for Trump or Biden, and he has an opportunity to do so. Instead, he spent most time attacking Trump. I'm like, and I saw this entire interview. I'm like, dude, Sean Hannity is handing you an opportunity to attack Biden, and you don't do it, or you barely do it. It's like, come on.
Cornel West, you're going off script. You're going off script. Don't attack Republicans. Please, don't attack that. Don't attack Trump. I've never heard that. It reminds me of when the debate was happening and Trump was like, tiny hands, I never heard that before. I don't even know what you're talking about. In 1927, Donald Trump's father was arrested after a Klan riot in Queens. And they go on to explain, he was very likely one of the Klansmen who was marching.
Yes. We all know this. We all know Fred Trump was a racist, and we all know that he was arrested in 1927 in a Klan riot. We all know this. This is adjudicated back in 2016. We all know the fact that Fred Trump was a racist, and most likely so is his son. But Trump isn't president. So what difference does it make? It's the president right now is Joe Biden. And he's equally as much as a racist as Donald and Fred Trump were. He currently is. So why is he still going after? Why is Cornel West not going after Biden more? I don't know. I'm not saying don't go after Trump. Yeah, Fred Trump was Donald's dad. His name is Fred Trump.
Okay. So Cornel West went on, and he didn't really play their game, right? Like, he does do the thing about, both parties are corrupt. That's true, right? I would argue one is more corrupt than the other.
Yeah, he should have played their game. There's an opportunity to attack the sitting president of the United States, and you barely take it? Come on, man. I would have spent all my ammo on Joe Biden. So, yeah, he's the president. Fuck him. I'm running against him, and I'm going to be elected president, and I'm going to be totally different from Joe Biden. No, he just spends most of the time attacking Trump with the same standard Bernie shit. Like, Bernie Sanders did the same thing. He never attacked, he attacked Trump. Never attacked Biden. Even though he's running against Biden in the primary. Just pathetic.
Together, but okay, fair enough. Both parties are corrupt. And then he's like, but Trump, the guy you love the most, he actually might even have a worse history on this stuff. And by the way, I'm going to get to more on that in just a second, but let's listen again.
We know, Brother Trump's, his own father has been tied to the Klan. Trump's language about black people.
Hold on a second. I've never heard his father. Professor, I've never heard that allegation.
You're going off script. You're going off script. Just attack Biden. Just attack Democrats. What are you doing?
Trump,
now, I know Joe Biden said he didn't want our schools to be integrated and be racial jungles.
No, my brother, you got to do the. We won't go into all of that now, but I'm not going to say the son has to take responsibility of the father. Oh no, we have empirical evidence of that in terms of not just how he treated black people in Queens, but also the fact that he took him to Klan rallies. But this is in the history. But we're not talking about his father. God bless his soul. We're talking about Trump himself. Look, for example, the brother Yusuf Salaam. You know, Yusuf Salaam was one of the Central Park of young brothers who was taken to jail. I was blessed to support him. I live in Harlem. He's now my councilman. What did Brother Trump say about Brother Yusuf? Death penalty, not even a fair trial. I want a fair trial for Trump. I want a fair trial for Trump. Did he want a fair trial for that black brother? No. That's his racism, too.
Oh, he went off script here. And I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Look, you are a useful tool for the right if all you do is go on Fox News and all you do is bash Democrats. Because there's a difference between what your politics are nominally, which is the label you give yourself, versus what you are effectively, which means how does your political commentary impact people in your audience or people who are listening to you, right? And you can go on with all the best intentions in the world. And I'm an ardent lefty, right? And I'm going to defend my lefty principles. But in the process of defending your lefty principles, all you do is beat up on Democrats. Well, you might nominally be a lefty.
Yes,
but
I would love to just go on Fox News and beat up Democrats all day.
Effectively, you're just telling a right-wing audience what they want to hear and feeding into their narrative and into their delusion that Republicans are better than Democrats, even if you don't believe Republicans are better than Democrats.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what the Fox News audience have to say or think. What I care about is an opportunity to go after President Biden, and I'm going to do that if I'm on Fox. I'm going to brutalize the president over and over again because he's the president and he sucks. So I don't give a shit what the Fox News audience, what they think or what the delusions are, what they aren't. I don't care. I'm going to take the opportunity to go on Sean Hannity's show on Fox and I'm going to go after the president. Doesn't matter what the hell's going on, what Sean Hannity thinks or his audience.
But if 100% of your criticisms are just against Democrats, that's what people are going to hear, whether or not it's what you mean. So you have to be very aware of not just what your nominal political label is, but what your effective political label is. Where, like, what kind of an audience are you attracting? Who are you making not along an agreement? You don't want there to be misunderstandings about what you actually believe and who you actually support. And if you just go on Fox News and just beat up on Democrats, people are going to get the misimpression you're sort of de facto defending the Republicans, or at the very least saying they're a lesser evil. Well, credit to Cornel West, because honestly, this is an issue. A lot of lefties fall into this trap.
How about this? About I don't give a shit. About the Democrats suck. They're shit. And if I can get on Fox News and never say that, I would. And I wouldn't give a shit. The Democrats shouldn't be shit then. They should be a consistent political party. They should be good. How about that? And I'm going to hold them accountable. It doesn't matter whether it's on Fox News or CNN or wherever, but I'm going to hold them accountable. I don't give a shit whether it hurts Democrats or not in the polls. And the reason why Kyle here is so passionate about this because he's a Democrat. That's ultimately what he cares about. He's a member of the Democratic Party. That's what it is. Him and his wife are Democrats. They're not going to be convinced to vote third party ever. So this is all pointless. This is why Kyle is so passionate about this because ultimately he's a Democrat.
They do. Yeah, I'm a nominal lefty, but all I do is beat up on Democrats. So effectively, I'm serving what the right wing wants. He's not playing that game. To his credit, he went on into the lion's den in Fox News talking to Sean Hannity, the chief right-wing commentator leader, and he immediately went to, you're attacking Biden. Okay, fair enough. Let me tell you all the things about Trump and his racial history.
How about fuck Trump? He's not the president. You got to go after the president, the sitting president, who is Joe Biden, not fucking Donald Trump. Donald Trump is probably going to be a Republican nominee, yes, which means that Cornel West is running against him. But how about fuck Trump right now? The sitting president is Joe Biden. You go after that motherfucker. You don't go after, like, oh, let's focus all my hatred for Trump because Trump is the racist here and not Joe Biden. This is why I criticized Cornel West. He's not going after Biden enough. Instead, he's sending all his ammo on Trump, which is fine. I mean, you're running against Trump too, which is fine, but you have to focus a lot of your energy on Joe Biden. And I don't give a shit whether this helps Fox News or not with their narrative that Joe Biden is a piece of shit and he sucks or whatever. But I would love that platform. I would go after Joe Biden all day and all night. I don't care. Look, people need to hear the truth. And Joe Biden fucking sucks.
You are burying, that you're not discussing, that you're trying to hide. I love it.
You know, Yusuf Salam was one of the Central Park of young brothers who was taken to jail. I was blessed to support him. I live in Harlem. He's now my councilman. What did Brother Trump say about Brother Yusuf? Death penalty,
Okay, you made your
not even a
comments,
fair
though.
trial. I want a fair trial for Trump. I want a fair trial for Trump. Did he want a fair trial for that black brother? No. That's his racism, too. It cuts across the board, Brother Sean.
You're talking to the wrong
honest now,
person
man.
here. I don't rush to judgment. I'm the one that says everyone's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. You said that black Americans are not a priority for Joe Biden.
See, so he just tries to go right back. Okay. I know you just hit me with like 4.
Yes, because the reason why he's brought on is because to attack Joe Biden. He wasn't brought on. He went off script because Cornel West pointed out Joe Biden's racism, which he was correct on. That's why Sean Hannity brought him on. But meanwhile, he flipped the script. Oh yeah, Trump is just equally as racist, which is true. But at the same time, Trump isn't president. He's running for president again, but he's not president. So why is Cornel West spending so much time on Trump than Biden? I don't, that's my criticism for him. Is that's not. You need to spend more time attacking the sitting president, which makes me feel like, at least this is my opinion. This makes me feel like when as soon as possible, Cornel West may drop out and just endorse Biden. It's like, hey, vote for Biden. Please. I mean, I don't want to get blamed for electing Trump. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he stays in the race, but that's what it seems like he's going to do, like a Bernie Sanders did.
Or very substantive criticisms of Trump and his race history. But back to Biden. Why? He's trying to get back on script. He's trying to do what he brought on Cornel West to do. Use him as a vessel to just attack Democrats. And Cornel didn't play that game. Much love to Cornel.
He should have.
Handling this interview correctly. By the way, this is the same thing Marianne does. She'll go on Fox, but she's not just going to feed into their narrative. She's going to do it. She's going to tell the truth. And it's going to be, look, you want me to give Levy fair criticism?
Time to kiss Marianne Williams' ass in this part of the video.
Against Biden, fine. But I'm not going to punch below the belt. And also, I'm going to remind everybody, Republicans are actually worse. Okay? So,
this is such low-hanging fruit. That's such low-hanging fruit. It's not impressive when you go after Republicans. It's not impressive. It's like, yeah, we all know they're motherfuckers and they're pieces of shits. But, that's not impressive. It's like, I could do this all day I wanted to. Hey, guys, guess what? Jim Jordan is a piece of shit. He possibly could have hidden sexual molestation charges when he was a wrestling coach. I could do that all day long if I wanted to, but I don't, because we all know what motherfuckers Republicans are. So what's the point of that? I'm not going to do a show like that. There's no point in that. There's no fucking point in that. Meanwhile, you hold Democrats to account. Maybe you get people to realize, oh shit, Democrats are just as bad as Republicans. Maybe we can, vote third party or do something. No, that's easy. I could do a show like that all day long and probably get a bigger audience, but I don't because it's bullshit. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm not just going to go after Republican hour. And Republicans are this, that, and the third, and they're pieces of shit, and they're motherfuckers, and I want them to die. No, I could do that all day long. I could be TYT or Kyle Kulinski or Majority Report or all these fuckers, but I'm not going to do that. That's not the show I want to do. That's not the show I will do. This is the show I'm going to do.
I had one more thing to show you here. We already showed you this, which is, Trump's dad arrested after a Klan riot. You guys remember this? Decades-old housing discrimination case plagues Donald Trump. So this was back when he was running 2015, 2016. This is in September of 2016. And this came up because Hillary brought it up in a debate, and this is something she was right about. During the presidential debate on Monday night, Hillary Clinton raised
let me kiss Hillary Clinton's ass, too.
1973 federal lawsuit brought against Donald Trump and his company for alleged racial discrimination at Trump housing developments in New York. The Justice Department sued Donald Trump, his father, Fred, and Trump management in order to obtain a settlement in which Trump and his father would promise not to discriminate. The case eventually was settled 2 years later after Trump tried...
All right, this is in 1973. This lawsuit is in 1973 from the Department of Justice. This is around the time, I'm trying to think, when did Trump... Because Fred Trump ran the company. So Fred Trump was the one that was sued over this, over his racist practices. He wouldn't rent to black people. So he wouldn't rent to black people, he only rent to white people. So Fred Trump was the racist. Donald, and again, I could be wrong about this. Maybe my timeline isn't exactly correct. But Donald Trump worked for his father once he got out of college. I don't know exactly when he got out of college or anything like that, and Trump was like, why am I even talking about this? I'm losing my mind. Okay.
To countersue the Justice Department for $100 million for making false statements. Those allegations were dismissed by the court. Quote, Donald started his career back in 1973 being sued by the Justice Department.
His father still ran the company, though. That's the thing, it's like they're trying to make it seem like Donald was guilty of racism. But Fred Trump still ran the company. Trump was added to the lawsuit because he was a part of the company, but he's a Trump. So my point is, and I have a random story here. My mother's best friend, who passed away in 2016 of cancer, her mother rented a house, or was it a house or an apartment from Fred Trump in Brooklyn. And Donald Trump happened to be working with for his father, collecting the rent from the apartment from every building or house that Fred Trump owned. Anyways, Donald Trump was an ass, as he usually is. Trump was an ass. Big surprise. Donald's an ass to her mother, every month. And then one day she decided, and my mother's best friend was a small little Italian woman. So, of course, from Brooklyn. So, of course, you know how this is going to go. One month she decided to be there when Donald decided to collect the rent. Or Donald came up to collect the rent from her mother. So, when Donald showed up, she yelled and screamed at him and motherfucked him and, basically like, go fuck off, fuck yourself and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. Of course, Donald just walked away, and then his father, Fred, called her, like, what are you doing? Why are you cussing out my son? Because this, that, and the third, so, that whole situation happened. So, eventually, they got their rent, but still, it was a fun... And she told me that story, I was like, oh, shit. You've actually been around Donald Trump when he was younger. It's like, wow. But, yeah, my point is... It's a random story. It doesn't really matter, but, I've always, I found that story hilarious. Well, the rest of this video doesn't matter. It's just Kyle basically jerking off, talking about how horrible Donald Trump is. So, yeah, he can go fuck himself. I'm probably going to stay on another 10 or 15 minutes before I wrap up, but Crystal screams two-stage solution when she double penetrates Kyle. Bad cookies, I didn't say that, but, I'll put that there just people to see it, Angel, ignore the last 10 minutes of chat. Again, when I talk, I haven't really been looking at the chat too much when I go on and on about it, so... But yeah, I I loved you guys are chatting so much, and I love the interactions and stuff. But when I go on my little rants, I tend to ignore liberals are more. I grew up in New York. Everyone I knew hated Trump. Yeah, desert. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's the case. I mean, Trump is like the fake tough guy. He had the fake tough guy act. Trump had like the fake tough guy act, which he continues to this day. Trump is a clown salesman. Yep, he is, gamer. I mean, I'm not defending Trump. I'm just pointing out how full of shit Kyle Kulinski is. My mother used to put crash saltines in glass with half an hour. He was. I think of that fact every time I see Kyle. It's like it's easy. I like going after Kyle because it's so easy. It's so goddamn easy. Well, let's go here.
There's this really.
This is from yesterday. It said how Trump plots totalitarian takeover, which is an article talking about what Trump intends to do if he wins re-election in 2024. To me, he talks about the deep state and how Trump wants to get rid of the deep state and basically fire everybody from Washington, which honestly I have no problem with. In fact, that's kind of badass, firing everybody from Washington. And I'm not saying, putting in his own blowhards, Trump supporters in there is good. But I'm just saying firing everyone from the deep state and, and getting the fuck out of Washington, I'm fine with that. So let's actually play this little bit.
Scary article that just came out from the New York Times that I want to walk you through here. And it's about
very scary. This article is very scary, guys. So let's remember that.
If he takes the White House again. And it ain't pretty, man. The stuff he's looking forward to doing is yikesy, to say the least. So they say Trump and allies forge plans to increase presidential power in 2025. The former president and his backers aim to strengthen the power of the White House and limit the independence of federal agencies. Donald J. Trump and his allies are planning a sweeping expansion of presidential power over the machinery of government if voters return him to the White House in 2025, reshaping the structure of the executive branch to concentrate far greater authority directly in his hands. Their plans to centralize more power in the Oval Office stretch far beyond the former president's recent remarks that he would order a criminal investigation into his political rival, President Biden, signaling his intent to end the post-Watergate norm of Justice Department independence from White House political control. Mr. Trump and his associates have a broader goal to alter the balance of power by increasing the president's authority over every part of the federal government that now operates by either law or tradition with any measure of independence from political interference by the White House, according to a review of his campaign policy proposals and interviews with people close to him. So, in other words, he feels like he's politically targeted and persecuted. He feels like the Department of Justice and various federal agencies are biased against him. So he wants to get in there, and he wants to clean house.
Good. Most of Washington can fuck off, as far as I'm concerned. That's a good thing. Like, why are we acting like that's such a bad thing? Cleaning house in Washington, firing everybody from, firing all these pieces of shit that started all these wars and stuff. Why are we why is he discussing this as such a bad thing? I don't fucking know at this point.
He wants to clean house.
Yes,
I'm
fine with that.
Break down these agencies and build them up in his own image. So they say Mr. Trump intends to bring independent agencies like the FCC, which makes and enforces rules for television and internet companies, and the Federal Trade Commission, which enforces various antitrust and other consumer protection rules against businesses, under direct presidential.
That's a good point, gamer. Biden fired staffers that use cannabis. Yeah. What? But Kyle didn't say a word about that. that Biden fired. It's the same thing. Trump, Biden. I interchange them, but Biden fired staffers that smoke weed. Like, how dare you smoke weed? Get the fuck out of my White House. Like, Lori says Trump just recently said he will go after communists. Like, yikes! I better go on the Appalachian trails. I'm more of an anarchist. Yeah, Trump says shit all the time. Doesn't mean he's actually gonna do anything. That's the difference between Trump and Biden. Like, Trump says, I'm going to go after communists. He's too lazy to actually do anything. So if he's reelected president, it doesn't mean anything, Doesn't mean he'll go after communists or socialists or anybody like that. But that's not a defense of Trump. People, let's be clear about that.
Control. He wants to revive the practice of impounding funds, refusing to spend money Congress has appropriated for programs a president doesn't like, a tactic that lawmakers banned under President Richard Nixon. So, look, the legal picture here is actually a little bit complicated.
I'm tired of Kyle. Honestly, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that nonsense because in Mexico they call Kyle pinche gringo tonto. Well, that's the very least, the very least that they would call him. That's hilarious. Let's see how. But in all seriousness, I claw his eyes out. I love it. Doing this show is just made me realize how many people actually just agree with me. Why am I so fucking... But I have enough of Kyle this week. It's like I can't do that shit anymore. He's a fucking little prick. He's an ass. They can go fuck themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so... I would like to have seen the House's reaction when MTG showed them Hunter Biden's image to them. Hunter Biden, what the hell was she like? She's showing off Hunter Biden's dick in Congress, like in front of everybody. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? Let's see. Let's see what else is said here. LOL, I'd rather kiss a snake. Indeed, not even I tried. Hispanic humor isn't the same as American humor. Our humor is fun. Yeah, Hispanic humor is hard to pull off because ultimately you have to know language in order to pull it off properly, and quite frankly, not many people know Spanish, which is why I'm like, I'm like, no. Alright, so let's see what's going on lately with this. Lori says, I'm a dumbass and never learned how to speak another language. Speaking another language is difficult, so I'm not really that surprised. Oops. Okay, so let's go back to Twitter there's something else I want to talk about. Yes, gamer, the Terror Raid is going to be on with Lee Camp soon, so I'm going to have to wrap up soon, but, I'm just... I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes myself, so I don't want to stay on much longer. But... where's that video that I found earlier? DC Drano. No. Team Trump. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I'll be on a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna wrap up before Tara goes live because, I'm not gonna step on her toes, obviously, but I just wanted to. Where is it? Why am I? Uh, wait, I just do this. TYT on screen seems promising. Yeah, I had them on screen. I don't know whether I'm going to go with any of their contents or not because. Oh, yeah, let me go with this one. Why not? I'm looking for this video anyway, so this is the one I'm looking for.
At some
So I'm going to wrap up with this one, and then because I was looking for this video, but it's a Trump thing. So let me.
point in the middle of the night, Donald Trump thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity to post a menacing threat. Now, he didn't make the video. An account called MAGA.com was the original poster. But by reposting it, he obviously wanted to promote it. And so without further ado, here's that menacing threat.
If you're with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
But why? But why? So
basically, he said, if you fucking do something to us, we will get back at you, essentially. But of course, TYT cut off the fucking part because they're cowardly and they're pathetic and you can't swear on TYT anymore. So they can't even play it, which is ridiculous. But yeah, of course they're gonna melt down about this. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I mean it's kind of badass when you think about it. When Trump reposted that, I have no problem with that. But the Young Turks have a major problem with this.
Apparently, that's not AI generated. That's his voice. That's something that he actually said. The context was Trump talking about Iran, and as we all know, his hawkish policies toward Iran included ripping up the Iran nuclear deal, and now Iran is free to develop its nuclear program, and also assassinating their top general, Qasem Soleimani, which was unprecedented. And we're kind of lucky that that didn't lead to blowback, at least not yet. But Cenk, thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I actually think this one's a little scary, and I think that they absolutely mean it.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a reason why.
Of course, Trump saying, don't fuck with us or we'll mess with you back. That's scary. It's very scary, guys. It's very scary that Donald Trump all of a sudden put out the 10-second clip about how if you fuck with us, we'll fuck with you. Very scary. Very scary. Unbelievable. And watch TYT continue their anti-Trump rhetoric.
Why he's reposting it. He's saying, yeah, I'm going to come for you guys, and I'm not going to follow any rules or regulations. And by the way, did he follow rules and regulations when he killed the top Iranian general? No, he risked a giant war in the Middle East from the guy who says he's not for wars, by the way, to do that. And that was the original reason he said this. And now he's doing it at his domestic enemies, Democrats, people on the left, people in the media, etc. And so the right wing now is saying over and over again, let's just imprison them all. And remember,
wait, what? That's not what was said at all. I mean, did I miss that? Let's just imprison them all. Wasn't it the liberals that talked about how we needed to imprison everybody that didn't take the COVID vaccine? Yeah, I think it was liberals. It was liberals like, not necessarily Cenk Uygur, but liberals in general said, yeah, let's put the people who are unvaccinated, put them in concentration camps, put them in camps away from us. And, so that's something liberals wanted to do. I mean, I'm not saying it's just like really, we're projecting something on the Trump and conservatives that liberals wanted to do. Okay then.
The original chant was "lock her up," all the way back in 2015, 2016, when they were saying Hillary Clinton emails. There might have been classified information there, so let's lock up our political opponent. Then later, when Trump definitely had top secret information that he had taken home, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. And now that they are trying to enforce a law against him for a much more egregious crime than Hillary Clinton's, instead of chanting "lock him up," they're like, oh no, now we want the exact opposite. We don't want him subjected to the law. But if we're in charge, we're gonna lock all you guys up without any reason at all. And they're pretty much saying it now. And look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. See, this is the difference between the two parties. And the Democrats have 1,000 problems, and we point them out every day, right? But when the Democrats go to impeach Trump, there's a reason behind it. So the guy says, hey, to the Ukrainian president, do me political favors so I could win my next election, and then I will or will not give you aid based on that.
That's the Ukraine gate, the first impeachment of Trump. Like how dare you not give weapons to the Ukrainians in their fight against the Russians? Okay, let's impeach you. Like, really? I mean, I don't care about their little weapons. They can go. Look, again, it's like jank like horsies. Yeah, I mean, Jake is like a partisan hack. I mean, why? It's like he blamed like, oh, well, Trump. I mean, how dare Trump not give weapons to the Ukrainians? So here's the first impeachment. First out of the second. By the way, the second impeachment was later, but that's the first impeachment, which was ridiculous and never was going to pass muster. But who cares? You know, he's the first two-time impeached president in U.S. history, and Democrats are running with that like such a big deal.
That's a core violation of American standards. That's a violation of an oath he took to all of you guys. He's playing with your money to give himself a political advantage. It's sick.
Wait, what about Biden giving tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to the Ukrainians? I didn't approve that. I didn't approve that at all. I didn't approve Biden giving billions of dollars to the Ukrainians. What? He's playing with my fucking money and giving it to Nazis. No, I didn't approve that, Jank. So, yeah. So go fuck yourself. Jank used to be pretty conservative. If you ever has seen his early posts, yeah, he was a Republican back in the 90s. It's like he's such a grifter that he's like, oh, okay, let me go left.
On the other hand, Marjorie Taylor Greene introduced impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden on his very first day. He hadn't done anything. He couldn't have done anything wrong because he hadn't done anything yet. And that's the Republicans going, we don't care about the stinking law or any rules. We're gonna break all the rules and we're just gonna attack you guys without any justification. Because you dared to hold us slightly accountable. By the way, we're gonna do that anyway because we were chanting lock her up before you guys did anything. So this is him saying, yeah, we're gonna go vigilante. We're gonna be against democracy. And I'm telling you ahead of time.
Okay, so.
Based on what? Trump didn't say he was going against democracy. He just said, you fuck with me, we'll fuck with you back. That's all he said, essentially. Like, how dare he, right? I mean, shit, man. I mean, he's anti-democratic, right? He must be anti-democratic. I mean, come on. He's Trump. He's big, bad, scary Trump. Biden has totally ignored East Palestine and the entire U.S. because he has head up Ukraine's ass, says Lori. Yeah, absolutely right. But that's okay to the Young Turks because they didn't even mention that. Instead, they're talking about how shitty Trump is and how horrible Trump is. And how Trump is anti-democracy and we have to protect our democracy by voting for Joe Biden, who ignores most of the U.S. and spends all money in Ukraine, giving it to Nazis. But yeah, who cares? You know, I mean, we must re-elect the president who is barely functional mentally and he embarrasses us every day and he falls on his face every day and he ignores most of the country. Yeah.
I want you to marinate on a point before we go to the next video, okay? Is there some possibility that he's just being ridiculous and hyperbolic. I say that as we go to the actual video of him speaking to Rush Limbaugh about Iran. This was in October of 2020 when Trump said what you heard in.
Thank you, Bad Cookies. I know. I'm looking at my watch right now. You know, I have about 10 minutes or 15, so I'm wrapping up soon. I just want to finish this video.
That menacing threat video, so I wanted to give you guys the full context. Let's watch that.
And Iran knows that, and they've been put on notice. If you around with us, if you do something bad to us.
Rush Limbaugh. Geez, look at Rush Limbaugh. He passed away, but it's like he's around the time he passed away. Look at him. He's like he lost a lot of weight. He looks like a skinny old man who's dying. That's what he looked like, and he did. He passed away. Look, and again, I'm not celebrating his death. I don't celebrate anyone's death, but still, I mean, ultimately, unless it's Henry Kissinger, then I'll definitely celebrate his death. But you know, I mean, look at him. I was amazed when I saw Rush Limbaugh before he passed away. Like, holy crap.
We are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
Yeah, like we're gonna assassinate your top general with no warning. And again, that could have sparked an absolute disaster. Like that could have led to a disastrous war. I'm happy that it didn't. But nonetheless, the reason why I'm asking you that question, Jake, about whether because he loves to be seen as the tough guy.
Lori says, I live 30 minutes from East Palestine and it's horrible what's going on. I hope you're staying safe out there. I mean, seriously, 30 minutes, I said, 30 miles. I mean, there was there's another train derailment in Philadelphia. I live like an hour away from Philadelphia. So, yeah, so it's, again, Pete Buttigieg is one of the most incompetent Department of Transportation secretaries of all time. I mean, I've never seen there's so much incompetence in transportation, from the train derailments to the airlines, all the issue with the airlines, to all the issue with busing. And I'm like it's obvious that Joe Biden appointed Pete Buttigieg for political reasons. This guy is nowhere near competent to be transportation secretary. Nothing. Zero. Zip. It's like he has nothing. And you're telling, and there are people seriously telling me that they're Democrats saying Pete Buttigieg, next president. Like, dude, he's a horrible transportation secretary, and you want to make him president? Like, no, thank you. I would rather vote for anyone but Pete Buttigieg. He can go fuck himself.
Guy. Like, I can't help but think of the NFTs that he sold, and they would sell out, right? And every single one of them made him look like this tough guy, like super, like built and buff and everything. So like that's how he likes to be portrayed. He sees MAGA.com putting this out there, and yeah, it's a menacing threat. But I think in his mind, it's like, I look and sound like a badass.
No, in this case, it's definitely both. So does Trump like to be hyperbolic? Of course. Does he like to look?
Lori makes a good point. All these stooges were promised cabinet position for bowing out of the primary. Yeah, of course they were. That's why they dropped out. Screw Google says Trump arming Ukraine too. Just saying, yes, he did. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that there's no way that. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, I'm not denying that point that Trump did arm Ukraine. I'm not denying it. He definitely did. He shouldn't have, but he definitely did. There's also, he's under political pressure from Democrats. There's you're pro-Russia, you're Russian asset, you're Russiagate, all this shit. And Trump's like, oh yeah, well, let me arm Ukraine to prove I'm not. So yeah, I get. So he shouldn't have done it anyways. I understand that, but at the same time, that's the reason why he did it. I'm not claiming that he's just this anti-war dove. He isn't. I know that he armed Ukraine too.
To look like a tough guy, oh, of course. And if he left it at like Rambo pictures of Trump, oh come on, let him go. Who cares? I wish the Democrats would do that more. The Democrats are all apologetic. No, I don't want that. So if that's all this was, I wouldn't be 1% concerned about it. And by the way, I wasn't anywhere near this concerned back in 2016. I hated him. I didn't want him to win. I thought he was a loser. I thought he was going in the wrong direction. But I didn't say he was fascist because he hadn't shown any tendency to end our democracy. Now he has. But look at that threat that he
No,
made.
that's not what you said in 2016. You're talking about how he wanted in democracy in 2016. But yeah, you get the point. You know, I mean, at this point, TYT is TYT, and they're always going to hate Trump, and they're always going to talk shit about Trump. And Trump is a piece of shit and all this other stuff. So, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Here I am. So, I'm going to spend a few more minutes with you guys. And then I'll wrap up because it's 3:49 here on the East Coast. And Tara Reid's going to start up soon. So, I'm going to wrap up soon. But, yeah, final thoughts is, you know, they're TYT are just TYT. Kyle Kulinski is Kyle Kulinski. And they're continue being hacky Democrats. And I will continue to point out how full of shit they are. Because that's what they are. They're full of shit. And on top of that, we have... Jesus, I mean, I'm losing my voice here. I've been live 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. The show just started. Yeah, yeah, 2.5 hours, you know. I mean, I've been on 2.5 hours and I didn't even notice. So that's how much I appreciate everybody, you know. The chat was incredible, you know. Everybody did a great job. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to all the channels I'm on. Follow me on Twitter. All that good stuff. And I'm going to see you guys next Friday. I'm going to see you guys next Friday. The same time, same place, same channels. So, thank you, Lori. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Bad Cookies. All you guys on the chat. Screw Google. All you guys greatly appreciate it. Carlos, make sure I'll be on next Friday. Same time, same place, same channels. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Make sure you stick around INN's YouTube channel for Tara Reid. She's going to be on with Lee Camp in about 10 minutes. And it's going to be a good conversation, I'm sure. And I'll see you guys next Friday. So have a nice weekend. I'll see you guys next Friday. I said it 3 times already, but now I'm going to leave. Thank you, Lori. Have a nice weekend too.